Recording!
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Once again, we're in Miranda's apartment. The camera looks at the computer, and she's not there. So it sort of goes around the bedroom a second. There's a lot of clothes on the floor. Some costumes in her closet. Sort of looking around. Eventually, you hear the sound of like a laugh track, and it swivels to the door. It goes through the doorway into the living room. And Miranda's sitting on the couch, sort of lazily watching TV. She's got more Cheetos. Oh, what, 2 in 1 day? God, what the fuck are they doing today?
Miranda!
Miranda!
I need my paycheck!
Miranda looks at the door through the peephole.
It's me!
Mutes her television.
Miranda, please! I tried talking to people at the
She motions for the camera to follow her into the bedroom. And closes the door.
I heard you were home from a neighbor, please!
She and the camera sit down on the bed. She pulls out her cell phone, dials, and then... Hey, Marty? Yeah, there's a guy outside my apartment. Could you,
I need my paycheck!
could you scare him off? Yeah, I don't know who he is. Okay, thank you.
Hey, wait, what are you doing with... I can't go!
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, you rapist!
I just want my paycheck!
How about you get your paycheck down these stairs?
Clash!
Those perverts.
Get the fuck out of here, Mr. Monocle! No one wants to hear from you in the apartment hallway.
Speaking of which, have you heard of the break-in at the radio station? Apparently, a luchador walked in. Absurd.
Mr. Monocle, you gotta get back on your meds. You're having delusions again. You're not the Monopoly man. Your wife died 10 years ago. Your wife died 10 years ago, and you need to confront the truth. Have you been talking to the therapist?
How do you know that name? Martha?
Wait, you know a Martha too?
How did you crawl back up the stairs?
This is not the first time.
Back down you go!
Bam, boom, 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 boom. Oh,
Come on, Mr. Monocle, I'm taking you to the therapist. She told me you've been missing your sessions. And watching Zack Snyder movies is not going to help. Come on, let's go.
This ended wholesomely.
Can someone help me to the hospital?
No.
I just wanted my paycheck.
Meanwhile, in the bedroom of Miranda's apartment, just sitting there, overhearing all this muffled noise. We don't get payday till Friday. Anyway, so our intrepid heroes investigated the monster problem, managed to flush out all the remaining spore carriers of the interdimensional monster that's trying to worm its way back into our town. And
my fucking trash can.
Put it back.
bull fucking shit. Anyway, continue, Miranda.
What the fuck?
Oh, I was coming to the.
Get the fuck out of here!
Fine.
TV.
I need a new apartment. I need a new apartment.
You do.
Get the
One
fuck out!
Also,
Jesus!
I kind of fell on your sofa when I was coming out of the vent, so.
She dials the same number on her phone.
Too late, out the window. Whoop.
How high up is Miranda's apartment, by the way?
She's on the 4th floor.
Fine, he just jumped out into another portal into the...
Back with
So, heroes, they're fighting a monster, I guess. Goodbye.
Can I get sugar, dearie? Please? Can I get my paycheck?
She calls the same number on her phone.
No, not again.
We have to teach you this lesson, old man.
Meanwhile, you guys split up to deal. Did you ever reconvene? Or
Yes,
did
I
you just...
think we reconvened at the bunker. That's when we ended the session.
Okay, you're all back at the bunker. The safe, happy bunker.
With
Ah,
all
yeah,
the
Tycho's medical
specimens.
bunker. Which totally isn't regular
You have
audio equipment.
you have 5 specimens, 2 of which have been burnt. 2 or 3 of which have been burnt. You burned a lot of them.
3 are dead, 2 are mashed to continue.
One
You're
is
burnt.
suplex.
2 are contained.
What is frozen?
Well, you're all back at the bunker. You've got 5 of these juicy little meatballs, 3 of which are overcooked, but that's okay. What's your plan, gang?
Didn't the Mothman say he'd come and...
¿Qué es este Mothman? That was bad Spanish, I thought.
Tycho's gotta check the Wi-Fi.
I'm trying to remember if you're asking where is the Mothman or what
I'm
is the Mothman
I
or
I meant
who
to
is
say
the
what is the
Mothman.
Mothman,
Donde
but
está
I can't
Mothman?
Spanish.
Where is
I
Mothman?
have-
Is donde está Mothman?
¿Qué es este Mothman? So what is the Mothman? Because no one's ever explained that to Alcohol.
He's.
It's easier to show you.
You
How's
okay,
the
Hal?
Wi-Fi?
You've been. Every time El Kawato's around, you seem to get really.
It's fine.
Are you alright, good friend?
Good.
Isaac looks at his Mothman detector. Are they nearby?
Yeah, Mothman's nearby.
I mean, pretty sure they're close by, so we could go talk to them.
Oh, Kaiko.
Huh?
Is there any way to. Do you have anything to print out any photos in this place?
No.
Damn.
This is a medical bunker.
Well, yeah, but there's usually computers in a bunker, isn't there?
This is from the 90s.
Touche. I want to print out the picture for Spooky Lady.
All right.
Okay, so Mothman's
Tycho's gonna look for the
here.
Mothman.
Okay, so you guys are going out of the bunker?
Yes.
Okay.
We're not inside the bunker. I thought we were like outside meeting up.
I said in the bunker to start with, so I was expecting you guys were in the bunker, but okay.
Yeah, we were in the bunker because we had
thought
a
we were in the bunker.
doctor. Dr. Mallory was with us, and then she left.
Either way, you guys leave the bunker.
No,
You step out. You literally step outside, and there, waiting for you in the woods, sitting on top of a tree branch, is the Mothman with a great big shit-eating grin on his face.
Oh, it's you.
So this is the Mothman I have been hearing about.
Yes, El Coatl, I am the Mothman.
I suddenly do not trust this Mothman.
You have all 5 little meatballs?
Three of
matter
them
of
are
speed.
dead, but we got 2 of them alive.
But you have all 5, yes?
Yes.
Very
If there
good.
were only 5, yes.
When you agree to the deal, I will start the witching hour, and you will do me a favor later at my discretion.
We owe you a favor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just gonna keep...
One favor for one favor. I do not have a favor right now, but I might have a favor later, in which case I will ask you to hold up your end of the deal.
Hmm.
If it's something in my power.
Isaac
Yes.
looks to the rest.
I
Goes-
would not ask you to do the impossible.
Last time they had us do us a favor, they started this whole witching hour stuff.
Maybe.
See? I admit it.
No, see, maybe it's not an admission.
I mean, we don't have much of an
I will
option
not
to get
trust
back
this man.
there. I don't like this either, but we need to get back to Mephalist.
Witching hours have happened before, and they are not caused by something as simple as playing a banjo. I'm just offering to jump to the next.
There's not much choice unless we want these little things to overrun the entirety.
There is choice. You can wait.
Yeah, but then we can wait and more of these meatballs might show up.
And
That
these-
is true. You don't know how spores first came here, do you?
Yeah, we don't know who infected the driver first.
Do you?
That would be asking for another favor.
Look at that smile. They know.
That is a lot of teeth. Not the most teeth I have seen, but a lot of teeth.
Celia just drinking a juice now.
Casey just drinking a Slurpee.
Staring at the
Celia in the
Mothman.
background.
So if you want my aid, I have listed my price. If not, you are free to wait until the next witching hour, and whatever happens between then and now, well, it happens.
Can we be assured it won't violate our moral compass?
I don't know your moral compass, so no.
It's not gonna involve killing anyone, is it?
I
Define
don't like that
anyone.
pause.
I don't know what the favor will be. If I had a favor I wanted to ask for, I would ask for it now. But I don't, so I'm asking for an IOU.
And if we don't like your favor,
Well, you have agreed to the deal if you have me start the witching hour for you, so it seems like that would be something of a betrayal on your part.
I am not gonna do. Don't want to go back on the Mothman.
yeah, he has given us a significant amount of aid so far.
Besides, why do you have compunctions with killing someone? You've killed 3 someones today!
Someone's.
Haven't we? Haven't tried to interrogate them.
Because they don't look like you?
More because they're responsible for the deaths of several people already.
And people never kill people then.
I'm not getting into a moral debate with the Mothman!
Okay,
But I thought you wanted to discuss the morality of
Fine!
favors.
Fine! I'll give
It's
you a
like
favor
you
later.
started moral debate.
I'll do you a favor later if you bring us to the witching hour. Deal?
So long as you fully agree.
I agree.
Mothman spreads his wings wide, flaps up, flies over the tree, pulls out the banjo, which has been slung over his back.
Where did you get that? I thought you gave that back to Softball Sam.
Mothman just smiles. He strums the banjo.
Zero,
And you all
I
feel that sensation, that airplane sensation of pressure changing, and it once again causes a headache severe enough that reflexively you close your eyes. And when you open them again, the atmosphere is once again changed. And when you look up, the sky is purple. The forest around you is far more deep and different, with trees in different locations or of slightly different size or slightly different shape around you. And the Mothman is still there, but it's changed. The thing you see, like, the Mothman in real life is fairly imposing. He's about 8 feet tall. He's got a very wide wingspan. He looks like, we've described him as having Muppety facial features, and he looks like the kind of Muppet that would be like a full-body costume.
Right.
This thing looks like a Stan Winston animatronic in terms of size and complexity of puppetry. Not to say that the Mothman is a puppet, but just to give the idea of like what the special effects needed to render this sort of monster in reality would be. It has like a 50-foot wingspan and intense eyes, and it is far bigger than it was in your reality. And clutched between its even more hand-like feet in Bewitched Melody is like a sci-fi future guitar. Like, it looks like what, like, the evolution of a guitar would be, of a stringed instrument would be, like, a couple thousand years into the future. With like, strings made of some sort of pulsing light. And the Mothman grips the guitar, smiles at you all again with a far more ominous Junji Ito-esque sharp-toothed smile before flying off, leaving you alone in the Bewitched Woods.
We probably should have asked him to drop us off near the house, shouldn't
That
we?
would be another favor. That would be another favor, and
Suddenly you guys hear a human screaming.
We should go that way.
Shady, if you could. You see Drake fall from the sky towards you guys, and then he hits the ground and goes right through it, and sinks into the dirt until you can't see him anymore.
Drake?
what?
And then a few seconds later, you hear once again, and Drake is once again falling through the sky towards you guys.
Can I reach out to grab him? Catch
That
him?
that would be an act under pressure.
Alrighty.
Can I help with that?
Yeah, you can help out.
Fuck yeah, I got a 10.
Okay. Hal, you managed to catch Drake before he falls through the ground again.
And then El Qual picks Hal up.
Yes, I help that way.
Hal, as you hold Drake in your arms, it feels weird. Like
Like
it
I'm.
feels fuzzy. Like when you touch an old school TV screen and you can feel that sort of almost static electricity. It feels like that. And a couple of times the image of Drake sort of shakes, like when video has a bad connection and it sort of jitters a bit.
So he's like an old school TV screen, like a tube TV.
Yeah, a little bit.
I smack him in the head a couple times.
There is a pronounced sound effect that, like the sort that you would hear in a sitcom.
Bonk, bonk.
Is this similar to like when we first saw Alcoatl?
Yeah, it's actually a very similar effect to that.
So he pokes him.
Why are you touching me?
Are
So
you
Can-
alive?
So Drake took Alcoatl's place in the curse.
At
Well, got out.
at that questioning, Drake's face actually briefly flashes, and you see the skeleton beneath it.
Jesus fuck.
No, mine did not do that.
Kaiko is holding the flamethrower tightly in her hand.
Now, Kaiko, let's be reasonable now. If you tried to hit me, you'll probably hit your compatriots here.
I drop him
want
in the
that.
hole.
Am I falling again?
No, you're fine. You are, for the moment, solid.
That was rude, Hal. Very rude. Come on, man. I was just stating a fact.
My arm was starting to go numb.
Right.
Are you,
Oh, yes, now I should put Hal down.
Yeah.
Hal down.
I'm still not sure why you picked me up in the first place, but okay.
He was giving you a better hold, so you didn't fall down.
Drake,
That's
why are you
not
being
bad.
creepier than normal?
Why did you guys not check to see if I was with you? These are the questions.
we didn't expect it to go like that. It just sort of happened.
Uh-huh. Right.
She
Right.
rushed
It's
us
not
out
like
of the
we
shop.
were
Why
going-
didn't you go with us?
I was talking with the TV vampire. He had a lot to say.
Do not trust his words, for they are honeyed lies.
Okay,
Yeah.
next time we go to her shop, buddy system.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyways, we got 5 spore things we need to bring to her, Miss Alice, and
You also stole my fucking trash can.
How do you know that? I mean, no, I didn't.
I know much. I know much.
You didn't say anything.
How do you know?
Why are you being so creepy, Drake?
Let's go talk to Mephaus, shall we?
Wait, is this Drake?
Yeah, it's Drake. Why would you
Yeah.
think otherwise?
Yeah, you guys are weird.
Can the general use sense on Drake?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Like, this place changes you. I am not surprised by his statements. I too felt those in my first 50 years trapped here.
I got a 7. I get a hazy impression about something important.
Okay.
Well, the general does.
The general gets the sense that Drake is something supernatural.
Ooh.
Drake does a sort of Mothman style head tilt.
are
What?
you fucking with us?
Fucking maybe. Potentially. Who knows?
I'm gonna roll my weird. Because I'm.
Alkawaddle's just been like, this happens occasionally when you're here too long.
I rolled an 11 for weird, and I have empath for weird. So for that, I get a. On a 10 or more, you gain a clear impression of their current emotional state and intentions.
Okay. Drake, give us a clear impression of your emotional state and intentions.
Alright, so Drake basically sort of just woke up from a nap and it's just sort of like. He's seen vaguely what you guys were doing.
First, he antagonized Miranda in her apartment.
I mean, to be fair, he was asking if she had sugar. Which
And then he was thrown out then he jumped out the window and ended up falling into here. Let's keep all of that clear. That was canon and foreshadowing this moment.
Wait, is her apartment like tied to the witching hour?
Hmm.
Everything's tied to the witching hour when reality is just another place you go.
You're really creeping me out, Drake.
Drake, who are you talking
But
to?
answer the
There's
question,
no one-
your emotional state.
And your
What's Drake
intentions.
feeling, and what is he intending to do now that he's back with the group?
Shit, I didn't think.
I mean, that's what's like you're back with them. You were gone for a couple of hours.
Oh,
Which
Drake's sort of
feels
livid.
longer because there were a couple of weeks between those hours.
Yeah, Drake's sort of livid, and he's wondering if he should tell them or not, or just leave them hanging. In all honesty, this is very entertaining to him.
Well,
They are-
how?
So to argue with somebody, to like give them a reason to listen to me, I can use my pleasant and friendly manner, right?
Well, Rick has a reason to be hostile
So
to you.
there are rules for using a manipulate someone on a fellow player. Players work differently than NPCs, and you don't get the automatic thing with the pleasant and friendly manner. That's an NPC move.
Okay.
For trying to get Drake to do something when you're working on another hunter, you have to roll manipulate someone, and on a 10 or above, they mark experience and get 1 forward if they do what you ask. On a 7 to 9, they mark experience if they do what you ask.
And to be
On
fair,
a miss, it's up to that hunter to decide how badly you offend or annoy them, and they mark experience if they do not do what you ask.
Hal hasn't actually said that what he's feeling from Drake right now.
Yeah.
Zoe's just going to be quiet.
And Drake is wondering, they haven't really asked about me.
Are you
What
okay,
happened to
Drake?
you?
Just doing the usual. It's easy to do when you're not lame and not alive.
Not alive?
Hal actually kind of stares at Drake for a second, walks
El Coral
over,
stares at Drake.
picks him up, and gives him a hug.
At the words "not alive," Drake once again sort of flashes, and you see just the skeleton of him.
This was a triumph.
Hal still does what I just said. He walks over and gives him a hug.
Aw, thank you. Oh shit, the wrestler's still here. Did not expect that.
Wait, did Drake die?
Define, well, not die per se. It's hard to die when you were never alive.
What?
That sounds like a yes.
How are you never alive?
So,
You married my aunt!
see, a part of me did.
What?
This reveal's going well.
It is. I'm really enjoying it. It's
It's
fantastic.
incredibly confusing, and that makes it fucking hilarious.
El Coral's just like. That would explain that. That explains that. And this is my family.
Alright, let me ask you guys something. You remember a few, days, weeks, whatever, when we were researching the Mothman?
Yeah?
Remember when he first appeared, like the first record of his appearance?
Mm-hmm.
See, he wasn't the only thing that appeared right then.
Drake?
Somewhat, yeah. See, the Drake you guys know is sort of like a shade left over from a Drake who died in a car accident like a year or so ago.
You're a ghost?
Bingo bango!
Well, he does live in a graveyard.
I
Hal
was
is
just
Yes.
about to say.
still hugging him.
He does have a
Aw.
tendency to pop up when no one saw him enter the room.
Holy shit!
And now that you mention it, I've never seen him.
Yeah.
Pizza, I think.
Wait a minute. That explains all the fucking ego. He can't eat them.
Oh, by the way, you guys may want to check your fridge. I left you guys some gift of Eggo. Or Duplo. Whichever.
Aw, thank you.
No problem.
Waffles for all.
So that's
Do I still have a refrigerator?
I mean, in one of the realities you've explored, yeah.
You've been dead this whole time?
Yeah. And also, technically, not related to you all, but also related to you all.
I guess don't let the museum know about this, or you're going to be their next visit.
So, the you that married my aunt was you before you died?
Very much. I've also managed to get a little of everyone's relative. Because as someone dies, there's potential energy. And
Wait! You eating people's spirits?
no, only part of their spirit.
Oh my god, he's Mort.
No, I'm not that deep. I'm not that kind of in. I'm not that eldritch monstrosity.
I mean, hey, you're still
Never
you're
before
still
have I
family.
been so. Never before have I been so glad not to have feet.
He's like the Grudge, but instead of being fueled by wrath, it's more petty pranks.
Mhm.
An amalgamation of different feelings from a whole bunch of dead people that sort of become its own consciousness.
Mhm. Except Kaiko. Never managed to get part of her family.
Well, he
That's
almost
why he
did.
keeps hosing down the teenagers that go
Wait,
nearby.
what?
All those old people residue going, get off my lawn.
I mean, little does Drake know, but he almost did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Kaiko almost died.
No, I was
Well,
talking about
no,
her family
There were
relatives.
some people of Kaiko's relation that
Passed.
passed a little bit, yeah.
Ah.
Just not in a way that Drake could siphon off of.
Yeah.
You're an amalgamation of dead people?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't expecting the Legion thing to appear as you.
Yeah. You need to expand your expectations, man. Like, what do you want? What do you expect?
Drake,
Hmm?
I'm really sorry we left you behind.
It happens.
It's not a big deal.
Drake is just chilling as Hal's like draped over him, hugging
I
him.
feel meanwhile has the flamethrower pointed at the 4 boxes. Or the 5 boxes.
Aw. She turned away. That's nice.
He's going making sure nothing's popping out of them.
So he's going to walk up closer to Hal and Drake and offer the general.
Thank you. Thank you. He pets the general.
Through the general's little cat hazmat suit.
Hazmat suit.
Anywho, we should probably get going, and we can discuss on the way there what these
Yeah.
things are.
Yeah, I'll meet you
Okay.
guys there.
Before we
And Drake-
go,
Wait, what?
before we go, is anyone else a supernatural creature?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, not that I know of.
No, Hal is definitely not a supernatural creature.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous, Celia.
I mean, obviously, he's my cousin.
Yeah.
Hal just fucking looks at both of you like with the most confused face in the world. Like, what?
Yeah, let's go.
Meanwhile, when you said supernatural, Kaiko was itching her face, the side of her face. Speaking of which, how is that interacting with the witching hour at all?
You keep it covered for the most part, right?
Yeah. Although there's like some parts on her neck and.
Let me tell you, you should look in a mirror sometime.
Huh?
Mirror, Kaiko?
Kaiko feels around. Does her skin feel different?
It feels a little warm, but just on the scar part.
Drake hands her a hand mirror.
Kaiko's got to pull. Kaiko looks.
So in the mirror, when you look at your face, there are vivid scarlet flames just emerging from all of your burn scars.
Kaiko throws the mirror and just
Not normal flames, mind you. I mean like blood red, like scarlet.
Oh.
Kaiko throws the mirror and starts to have a panic attack.
Celia, hug!
Do we see these flames,
Pulls
or is that...
Kaiko into a hug.
No, it's only in the mirror that they show up.
You okay? Are you okay? It's alright.
Is it?
What did you see?
Does Kaiko's face look normal? Well, normal.
To other people, it looks perfectly. Well, it looks like it normally does.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's got big scars on it. That's not going to read as fine, but scar tissue isn't exactly healthy. But it's how it normally looks.
In all honesty, you guys may want to get your answers quickly.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We can figure
Are
it
you
out.
okay? Are you okay?
No, but we need to do other things first.
Okay.
All right, I'll meet you guys there. Drake vanishes.
What?
He's just gonna start doing that now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I imagine we hear sad whooping from the softball stand.
Yeah, 'cause
Well, you do hear a banjo. You do hear a banjo playing in the distance.
we should, probably check on
How
softball
fast
side
you got
after all.
drugged by the Mothman?
Which way is my Faust?
She is that way.
You guys have been there before. You've driven in the car. It's towards
yeah.
civilization.
All right, let's just try to civilization and make sure these.
We got the
things
cars,
don't
right?
out.
Yeah, you brought your. I mean, I assume
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure if they transferred to the witching hour with us.
they did last time, so they do this time.
Oh,
But you there.
In fact, most buildings and objects seem to exist in the witching hour. It's strange that people don't.
Also, as they get in the car, I can go and look in the car mirror to make sure.
Okay, you look in the car mirror, and yep, there are flames.
Does anybody else see the flames or just Kaiko?
Anyone who looks in the mirror will see that there's vivid flames coming off of your body, and it's not just your face. It's wherever the scars are, the flames are emerging from you. They're not burning your clothing or anything that touches them, but they're there.
I'm guessing
Very
Isaac might notice if he's driving and looks in the mirrors.
Yeah, you definitely would.
I'll
Celia
totally.
leans in to check. Oh, that is concerning.
I'll
Well,
totally
come
look
on,
that
I'll
out.
try with Hal.
Okay.
Yeah, don't cockblock him this time, Zoe.
What?
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 Okay.
Did you just pop
Right?
back up just to say that?
Yep.
Drake, did you just out a person without their consent?
I did no such thing.
When we get home, I've got a dirt devil with your name on it.
Your poor great grandma Celia. How will she?
Celia, can you explain that threat to me? Because I'm trying to figure it out.
Ghostbusters.
Oh!
Remember how in Casper they could suck up the ghost with just a handheld dustbuster?
I don't, because I have not seen that movie in years.
Well, they could.
Okay. The sad thing is I would have gotten it if you had said thermos, and that, I think, speaks ill of me.
He can't get us here, TT.
I didn't get the Casper reference, but I would have gotten a bitch fart man reference. Oh man.
Bitch fart man.
You need to rectify that, T2.
The moment that Drake revealed that he's a ghost, Isaac was thinking to himself, I wonder if Spindle's got those plasm traps figured out yet.
Rude.
They've been working on them. They discontinued Ecto Cooler. They just haven't worked right. And High C won't give up the formula because they're convinced that someday they're going to bring it back, but God knows when.
I'm sure it's in a vending machine in the Faustus shop.
Well, maybe you can look around. So you guys drive down the road. It's the same road that you led to get to the bunker, and just like last time, there are a bunch of branches to this road that were not there before, and everything looks slightly off. Trees in different places, different leaf litter on the ground, but not off in an obvious way. The trees aren't fucking truffula trees from the Lorax. They're just that's a slightly different size and shape pine in the place that there was a pine. It's the kind of shit that your brain would only notice on a subconscious level. The new roads are the kind of thing you would notice on a conscious level because that shit was not there before. And overall, the woods seems to stretch on for far longer than it should.
Question.
Yes?
How big is Big Mel? Could we theoretically see him from here?
Not from here, no. Because you're in the forest. There are trees blocking your sightline.
Yeah, we'd have to
Would
go
we get
towards
out?
Big Mel, and he already creeps all of us out. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he's near the highway.
Yeah, there are trees and buildings blocking you from seeing Big Mel from where you are currently. You would have to go further into town to be able to catch sight of him. Unless he was, significantly larger here for some reason, but, why would that ever be a thing?
fuck you,
Zoe's
TT.
keeping an eye out because the thought occurred to her that creepy fuck's here.
Alright, and eventually you guys get to Mathal's shop, which, once again, exists in a space where there is not space for a shop. It exists between two shops where, in normal Melody, there's, a small alley, and that's it.
Oh yeah, the Sad Meats was here.
Yep, it's right next to the Sad Meats.
Is it still a Sad Meats in Twitching
Yeah,
Hour?
yeah, as far as buildings go, all the buildings that you see in Melody are here.
Okay.
And they're all mostly the same, as far as you can tell. At least from your cursory drive down, this part of Melody. Maybe if you explored more, you might find some more weird shit, but, right now, everything looks mostly the same. It's just that every now and then, there's a building where there wasn't a building before. There's
Right.
additions in the Bewitched Melody rather than subtractions, other than the fact that there just don't seem to be a lot of people about. The lights in Mathal's shop are on, and the sign says open. And
Right.
on the outside, it looks like a normal kitschy curio/gift shop.
Alright, let's get in and figure this out. Before
The one thing that's changed is that the title of the shop is now the shop that was still here, that it was here earlier today.
I know there was mention of a buddy system. I should buddy with the How. He seems offbeat.
He seems kind of nervous. You should do that, Elk Bottle.
It's a bit offbeat today, I feel.
Hal stares into the middle distance.
I'll buddy with Drake when he comes back.
What about Drake? What?
Oh, there you are. I'm making sure you don't get left behind this time.
Much appreciated.
And I imagine Celia just has her arms wrapped around Kaiko.
Obviously.
Isaac is on his own.
Sorry, there's an odd number of us.
Okay, do you enter the shop?
Hal reaches out and snags Isaac's sleeve. Like, you're not getting away.
Alright. You all enter the shop, and when you open the door, the first thing you hear is, "Who the fuck stole all my high-C ecto cooler?"
Oh no.
Drake, was that you?
I make no comment one way or the other.
Drake,
So yes.
we need Mathal's help here.
You hear the
I
clicking
gave her-
you hear the clicking of shoes on linoleum as Mathaus walks up and says, "Ah, you're back!"
Oh, Mafaus, check your cash register. I left the payment in there.
Her eyebrow raises, and then she runs. Like, she fucking sprints to the cash register, opens it, and goes, "Oh, good," and closes it.
What did you pay her with?
Various odds and ends.
Oopla
Gold
waffles.
doubloons!
No!
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 And
I hope you watched them first.
oh, and on Mafaus' counter, you see what looks like a Batman, but he is chicken themed.
Fuck. What the
Like
fuck?
Looks
an
like
action
that.
figure or an actual
She grabs
Batman?
one of those little plastic, claw arms, the kind that you can get for, $3 that, break after you use them a couple of times.
Yeah.
She picks up the chicken man with that, and she drops it into the waste can.
Oh, God.
Imagine trying to explain that to the kids.
I can barely explain it to us, and we were there.
These are perfectly normal gold doubloons, thank you, she says. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been accepted in my cash register. They have not been in the penguin's dick.
Excuse me?
Never mind. Clearly, a reference to something that you guys have no reference point for.
In the Faust shop.
What?
Any mirrors in his Faust shop?
Yeah, probably.
This guy was gonna make sure if it's looking the same in that mirror too.
Okay. There is, in fact, an aisle of mirrors that draws your attention as soon as you start thinking, I want to look in the mirror again. So do you go to the aisle of mirrors?
Maybe not that aisle.
Okay.
If it's just a mirror, it's fine. But a hall of mirrors, fuck no.
There's a lot of different mirrors.
Celia gives her a pat on the back.
So, did you bring some specimens?
Did we?
Alcohol lifts his jar of the one he specifically suplexed and places it on the counter.
Its eye, which is pushed up against the side of the jar very uncomfortably, just looks very peeved.
Yes, I did
You
bring
only
a specimen.
2 alive?
Well, that's okay. One will suffice for my purposes.
We have the rest, though. So he loads them up.
Neat. You want to sell them?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Let me see one of the live ones.
Oh. You already got one.
Well, I mean, Yoko showed the jar. Did you give it to her?
Yes, I gave it to her. He put it on the counter and was like, "Here, you specifically requested for one specimen."
She unscrewed, opens up the top, and then, like a person trying to get the last scraps of jam from a jar, tilts it over the edge and just pats the bottom until eventually the creature just kind of, sort of, jerks out and squishy bits until finally it's all plopped out on the counter.
Oh. Thanks, I hate it.
The thing immediately squirts spores in her direction, and her eyes flash for a moment, and the spores combust into flame.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's feisty! And she pokes it in the eye.
Yes,
Let's see.
I didn't think you would be able to make more spores.
Well, eventually these things have to regenerate. They can't have a limited supply forever. She grabs one of its broken limbs, and the creature visibly winces in pain, sort of looks at it. And she goes and she looks at the tiny hand forming and says, "Oh."
It specifically flipped the bird.
She
did that.
She twists the monster's arm around so you can see its hand.
Ooh. Hmm.
Do you see these? And she points to the fingers.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, fingies.
Did you look close?
When it flipped me off, I do believe, yes.
It's got fingerprints. She drops the arm and it just sort of falls to the counter with a plop, and the creature again winces.
Hal keeps flinching every time that happens. He feels bad about breaking that one's arm.
And she looks at the creature and she's got a big wide smile. She says, "Well, what you've got is an assimilating entity.
Hmm.
And I think I know which one this is." And she pokes some indentations above its eye, and then reaches into her pocket, pulls out a Swiss Army knife, pulls out the knife part, and just slits one of the indentations open as the creature just squirms to the best of its ability. And she pries open the indentation and says, "Yep, sure enough." And she grabs the giant sack of flesh and swirls it around so you guys can see what she's looking at. And she holds open the little flaps of skin, and you see two gums like jaws with tiny little human teeth beginning to poke out of them.
Thanks for Faust, I hate it.
It's got two of these. It's got two of these, and she points to the other indentation and pokes it. There's someone here too.
Why?
Hmm.
Well,
Identification? You have to know your foe before you can fight.
Something shuffled its face.
Well, this thing doesn't have a word I can pronounce that you can say, so let's call it a gourmand.
Why?
Use it as sort of a fan of delicacies and wants to taste the universe, if you will. It's serving a higher purpose, as we all are, but for your purposes, this is a thing that wants to eat your reality piece by piece.
Ah.
And
I'm not okay with that.
And to get there, it first had to make a body for itself that could inhabit your reality.
That's what these are?
Did by producing these spores, and she pokes the creature until it shoots the spores out again and vaporizes them almost immediately after they pop out.
Would they even affect you?
No, I can shoot lasers.
You have to show me that trick sometime.
You can't learn it. So the point about these spores is that these are actually capable of traveling between realities. They're designed to permeate through the layers. It's not really a size thing, but for convenience, if we're using the whole metaphor of veils, they're able to get in through the tiny microscopic seams between threads, whereas the rest of the creature can't. And once they get in, they can infect some matter from your reality, preferably living matter of a highly complex thinking organism, and use that to build a body capable of sustaining a fraction of the Gourmand's spirit. Now,
They're bootstrapping themselves to our reality.
yes, which then will allow them to proliferate, build a body, spread more spores in your reality, and eventually assume until all are one with the Gourmand, till it has fully consumed and embodied your plane of existence.
That sounds very, very bad.
For you, yes. Now, the positive side of this all is the Gourmand's an interdimensional being. It doesn't want to settle for one reality. So to start embodying a reality, it begins to limit itself by that reality's rules. If you allow it to form a body, you can make it manifest to a point that you can kill it. But killing it's going to be difficult because as an interdimensional being, it doesn't fully abide by your rules, even when in a body made from your world's matter. So you're going to have to kill it in a way that makes sense sort of for your world, but also a little bit of nonsense. Looking at this particular iteration of the Gourmand, I would say that you're going to need fire to kill it. You probably destroyed these things with fire, the three dead ones with fire in your home plane, correct?
Yes.
Isaac hefts up the flamethrower.
But you're going to need fire in a different form. You're going to need, let's say, oh! She smiles as an idea pops in her head. A sword made of smoke.
What?
You're going to need
I get this.
a sword made of smoke, and I actually know someone in town who would help you. And she reaches down, she pulls out a phone book and sort of flips through it.
You know, I think I've seen this person on YouTube that make knives out of anything.
Oh, I love that guy.
That's one of her students. Yes, this is Susan Hanzo. She lives in town here. She's actually in one of the apartment buildings just a few blocks over.
Oh, damn it, TT.
If you can get her to craft a blade made out of smoke and fire, that would be useful in striking a final decisive blow. You can probably wound this thing with fire, but you're not going to be able to kill its embodiment of your reality unless you have a special weapon. But once you do that, once you have killed your reality's version of the Gourmand can no longer enter your reality. That reality's version of the Gourmand will be dead by that reality's rules and unable to manifest in your world ever again.
Okay.
So do we have to wait for it to form in that case?
you're going to want to, I would say, get the sword, then let these little buggers go. They can hear us right now, and they know what's going to happen, but they're probably going to bet that their boss can do you guys in.
So we need to follow it back to its boss?
Yeah. Or wait for it to come to you once it's fully formed. Either way, you're going to have to kill it. And you're going to have to kill it once it is full. Like, if you just kill these servants, then it can still send spores through this middle space, through this bewitched melody. You want to let it to fully manifest a body of your reality's matter, and then kill it.
How many people will it take to do that?
Oh, these will be enough. So long as they can drag their dead friends along, which they will. They're growing in strength even as they're waiting in their little pods here.
That is fair enough, I suppose. Honorable combat with a true foe.
Do you happen to know anything about Psycho? Hesitantly points to her face and gestures to the mirror.
Oh, you mean... And she doesn't even look at the mirror. Oh, you mean the spectral flames coming from your body all the time? I figured that was just normal for you.
Psycho goes pale, shakes her head.
Huh. I'm still learning things about humans.
Were you not paying attention to my lessons on the television?
No, I was not. That's for the customers. I have work to do. I'm a shopkeeper. And if you notice, there's not a lot of help around here.
At least she was honest.
Speaking of customers, previously one of us mentioned a camera to be able to track things. Would you happen to have a camera that captures spectral images?
We asked about that last time.
Well, you asked about cameras that can get the images of any supernatural creature. And there are a lot of different creatures from a lot of different realities, and mixing a lot of different realities together, one camera that can capture all of them is sort of impossible to make. If you specify something specific like ghosts, that narrows the field down a bit. If you're talking about specifically ghosts from your plane, that's easy.
Sweet. So we have to let these ones go, and they'll become the Gourmand itself that we then have to kill.
Yes, but I would recommend not letting them go until you at least have the sword. You don't want to still be making the sword and the thing comes and finds you.
Okay. So
And
we
if
can't.
we're
So we can't
smart-
sell them to you.
Sadly, no. As much as I would love having one of these things around to show off and possibly find a very nice bidder for, I do think it would be better for your home plane if you took all 5 and killed the Gourmand to keep your plane of reality from existing. And I've got to be honest, it's not the most entrepreneurial thought that's gone through my head, but I kind of like some of the people from your plane.
Yeah, so do I.
We're rather attached.
Special flame. Psycho's still hung up about that, and
Yeah, what's with the... What's this about flames?
Oh, you can't see?
No?
Oh. Yeah, I forget. You humans have very limited senses of sight.
Oh, I know. So he's
so-
gonna pull out the camera and snap a picture of Kaiko in here.
Okay, Kaiko comes out of the picture looking like Kaiko.
I thought that would do something.
Yeah. Your camera's not detecting it with its senses, but she has clearly been marked by someone who has traveled between realities or used the space between realities as sort of a shortcut.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you ever have any strange encounters when you were younger? Before you had those powers?
Immediately pale.
Yeah, you've clearly experienced first contact with something that isn't quite normal. But then again, that goes for all of you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Wait, all of us?
Yeah. You don't travel to the bewitched version of Melody unless you are partially bewitched.
And we did spend our time meeting the three beasts of Melody.
That's true. Is that why we're able to be here? Because we met them?
That's one of the reasons why, yes. I mean, obviously not for all of you. Your Kaiko there has those flames on her face. She's obviously experienced something that the rest of you haven't. El Coatl was stuck in various realities for a whole bunch of reasons that he tried to explain to me at one point, but for one thing, I don't think he actually had a correct explanation, and for the second, I wasn't fully listening. And who knows what's going to be going on with the rest of you. I'd expect that boy right there, she nods to Hal, probably has some odd cats hanging around his place, if I was to hazard a guess.
Zoe holds up the
Isaac looks
general.
at Isaac. Yeah, Isaac looks to General.
Like this?
Yes. And, I think one of you has quite a bit of experience with strange creatures, she says while looking directly at Isaac.
Isaac shrugs.
General, what are you?
I
I mean, that's not an answer. That's an evasive answer.
know.
What? Shit, what? What? Can you talk in here?
Well,
None of that, mister. Hold this out a second. This whole time we've been in here, could you talk?
the cat looks at Mafaus, and Mafaus just smiles.
You could talk this whole time?
I mean, he's always been talking. Cats are one of the smartest species in your plane.
Okay, look, I understand. I don't know how, but I understand him when we're back home. But can he talk here? He just did, though.
I think he might be upset about the suit.
I'm sorry. Look, we took care of the things. You can come out of this, okay?
And the cat holds up its paws like, how?
I'll take you out. I have opposable thumbs, you know.
Do you take the general out of the
Yes.
hazmat suit? He gets out and he does that cat thing where he like shakes himself just to be like, oh thank fuck.
I didn't want you to get sprayed, General.
Oh
Oh God.
The General's going full Scooby.
She's gonna scratch him behind the ears. I promise. And you're still getting the good treats when we get home.
What could cause this? Kaiko said it's still off on her.
Well, like I said, either a thing from another plane or a thing that's just using a nice little shortcut. That's what you got there is sort of exhaust flames, if you want to think about it. That's why they're so red.
Okay? Is she going to be okay?
Well, I mean, they're not threatening her life, but they are sort of making her stand out a bit.
Could the Mothman see those?
Yes, almost certainly.
He's got
Mothmans
those
have
giant
some of the best eyes in the entire cosmos.
I do believe Cosmos is correct there.
Oh,
I'm talking more
another
Russian than Spanish today.
question. Would the Gourmand still try and spit spores at us when it comes through?
Yes, but I think the chances of them taking hold are very slim in this plane of reality, and beyond that, if you kill it, they will die with it.
So if we're fighting it and it sprays us, as long as it dies, we're okay?
Yes.
and anyone else that might have infected.
Also true. Although hopefully no one else got infected besides the 5 poor bastards who got turned into... She points to the meatball.
The Mothman did offer that there was only 5.
And he has the best eyes, so...
Well, I suppose we should go get this shadow sword or whatever the fuck it is.
A thought crosses Celia's mind, and
Begone!
she goes up to Faust. Is there a version of Big Mel in this reality?
Oh god.
Mephaust's smile slips away. Pray you don't meet him.
What's he like here?
Wait, Big Mel, that creepy statue
I
downtown?
swear he took my brother.
Shh,
I mean-
shh. We don't say his name.
What's he like here?
Pray you don't find out.
Is it possible he interacted with our world too?
Celia points to her legs and just nods.
Wait, forgive me, this is like offensive, but that statue ate your legs?
Not directly, but he calls me to trip at the worst possible time.
No, he ate your legs.
Did Mephaust say that?
Yeah.
What?
So a rival.
You probably,
Why did I move
your
to this
memory
town?
probably for your protection reimagined the situation, but Mephaust looks at Celia's, where Celia's legs terminate and says, yeah, he ate your legs.
Jeez.
I just remember I was doing my routine. I was trying to got a little bold, tried to roof hop a little bit. I just remember something slamming into me that shouldn't have been there. I remember landing in the road, and the truck came. And, yeah.
He ate your legs.
I would suggest we stop talking about him. You are fortunate in that he is dormant, and we have kept him dormant for a very long time, but the things that keep him dormant are fragile and could snap. Do not invoke him. Do not provoke him.
Celia's
You
just
are
looking
not
at her
ready.
box.
You are not ready to deal with an enemy on that scope.
And back. What?
Drake reemerges in this in the store with like just a half-eaten bag of Cheetos, like a bag of Cheetos that is half full. That is to say, not an empty bag of Cheetos that someone was halfway through the process of eating. That would be weird, which isn't a thing that would happen in Bewitched Melody.
Yeah. No, what it is basically a standard bag of Cheetos.
But with half as many Cheetos as there should be in it.
Drake, can
So,
you stop doing
just-
that? It's very hard to keep a hold of you when you...
So, standard bag of Cheetos.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What did I miss?
We don't talk about the statue.
We'll talk about this when we get back home.
We should probably
Zoe
go.
leaves against the counter.
Anyway, she gives you the address. You can find Miss Hanzo there. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else we should worry about on the way there, or?
Well, you are in Melody, so yes, technically. But the Gourmand is a very big presence. If it's here, trying to manifest in your reality, I think most of the other threats will give it space. I wouldn't go on any long treks through the woods or the mountains or the lake, but if you stay in town and away from a certain casino, you should be fine.
Certain what?
The
Casino. Where a certain thing stands.
Oh. Right. That.
Real flex. Was Big Mal here when El Coro was there, or is he just like, I have no idea what they're on about?
I think we had Big Mel in the 70s, correct?
No, he's more of a '90s thing.
Okay, so yeah, but no, he wasn't. Yeah, El Coatl would have no idea what Big Mel is, because El Coatl's been trapped in TV land for all the time Big Mel has been here.
I bet it is like Satan Co.
No.
You wish it was like Satan Co.
Satan Co is a good friend. I would hope so.
That's why you wish it was like Satan Co.
Well, we'll explain it to you when we get home, El Quaddle. Home? Other home?
Home, you don't belong here yet.
Yeah. You guys haven't got enough street cred.
Oh.
Alright then. Let's go make the most
Sword
80s
of
fucking
smoke?
weapon I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah.
We can do it together, Hal.
Indeed,
Please.
you two can.
Okay, don't ever phrase that like that again, please. Never.
What's the matter, Hal?
Yeah. Yeah.
I will respect your wishes, friend.
Thank you.
Yeah. It'll be a learning experience, and El Cuado's experience will help you.
Drake, I will find a way to murder you for real.
I think I know somebody you could talk to.
I
Okay.
am not sure I am comfortable with this conversation of murdering our friends.
I'm
Alright.
not Tycho still.
You guys exit Mephaus' shop with various things on your mind. Thankfully, this time the world doesn't disappear and reappear around you, and Drake does stay with you for the most part. Other than occasionally flickering between being Drake and a skeleton. And
Do you still have any of that ecto cooler?
Yeah, back at my place. Hold on. Reaches into his right pocket. Here you go.
Thanks.
No problem.
Does it scream when she pierces the pouch?
no, she
Um,
just drinks it. It tastes like Ecto Cooler.
So, I almost died while you were gone, Drake.
Huh. You also stole my trash can.
I put it
Or-
back!
But did you ask?
You weren't there!
Exactly. For shame.
We had to contain it somehow!
Should have asked it politely.
Yes, your trash can?
No, ask the Gourmand ball, meat sludge, whatever that thing is. By the way, where are they?
I like to imagine that Celia's just staring at them as she's drinking the ecto cooler.
Tycho's still out of it.
So we meander off to the address.
Okay, you guys arrive at the address. It's an apartment building, so there's like a list of buttons, like a string of buttons for the apartment that the lady resides in, which helpfully Mephaus gave you the exact apartment number.
I would hope
I was
so.
gonna, look at the other doors they pass, see if there's anything on those.
They don't list names. There are just numbers, and there are last names, and there is one for Hanzo. But apartments don't try to tell you exactly who lives there, because occasionally crazy people will come looking for somebody, and the anonymity of which apartment you live in can be kind of helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I push the ring button for the apartment number that we were given.
There's a little sound, and then you wait. You don't hear a door unlock sound, but then you do hear, who is it?
Mephaus sent us about some kind of fire and shadow sword.
Fire
Who
and
is-
smoke.
Who is us?
We're
A
from
bunch of-
regular
bunch of
Melody.
Congrats. Who is us?
Bunch of nerds.
I am El Coto.
My name is Hal. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
El Coatl the wrestler?
Yep.
From our public access channel?
Yep.
I am glad people really do remember this.
Yeah, you may want to see us to believe us
It's
because
always the public access freaks. Okay, I'll let you up. And then you hear the unlock sound from the door.
Okay. Go into the apartment building.
Okay, into the apartment building. As she's on a relatively high floor. She's on like floor number 3. As you go up the stairs, you pass by hallways of other apartment doors in them, and most of them look normal. Every now and then you see like one that has like a green light coming out from it, and another where instead of a door, there's just an inky black mass with like tentacles sort of emerging from it, like wispy black oily tentacles.
so
They're just gonna throw gushers at it.
Hi, Boone.
All right, do you throw gushers at the tentacle mass?
Yes.
You throw gushers at the tentacle mass. They grab one tentacle, snaps and curls around the bag, and then another tenderly comes up and opens it. And the tentacle that grabs the bag sort of shakes, and the gushers fall out. And when they fall into the black mass, they sink in, and then there's a scream, and just jets of blood shoot out from the black mass. Just like full on fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, just like gallons are shot out as there was just a rending.
I'm sorry.
Like the stereotypical college storm.
And as the blood stops shooting out, and then a mass of it just sort of continues to like pool and flow down the door that it shot onto. The blood congeals into a large round face shaped vaguely like a fruit and vaguely like a person, and the face is wrenched in a silent scream before it too melts and condenses into a puddle of blood on the floor.
Hal stares at this, and then he turns really slowly and stares at Zoe.
Zoe's staring in shock.
Drake grabs another bag and tosses it at the black mass.
Another tentacle grabs it, another tentacle opens it, pours the gushers in, and once again, blood shoots out. Another fruit boy face emerges from the blood, only to melt back into the puddle on the ground.
TT, for my mental image, is there like a photograph of like a teal-scaled winged kobold nearby this black mass of tentacles?
A what now?
It's Boone.
No, because you're not inside the tentacles. You're at the tentacles door.
Ah.
Hal continues up the stairs.
What is Boone?
Could be. Could be something similar to Boone.
We probably should not be knocking on random people's doors like this. This is considered rude.
Zoe's still staring.
Come on, Zoe. Drake grabs Zoe by the arm and leads her up.
Blood.
Yeah, Isaac's trying to hurt everyone up. Keep going. Don't think about it.
Yeah,
She's now squeezing the general to her
I
chest.
wonder if this is what I should get an apartment.
so long as you have gushers, apparently.
I don't think
What's
I...
blood?
Wait, TT.
Yeah?
Does this apartment correlate to Isaac's in the real world?
We're in the real world.
Which apartment does Isaac live in again?
I'm not sure. I just said that he has an apartment in town. I never, specified.
I don't think it is, because I think you would have recognized it was your apartment. Let me look at the apartments that are available. Okay. This would be...
I didn't mean to sidetrack.
Okay.
I was just...
This is the base Clef apartment complex. Isaac, you live in the Alto Clef apartment complex.
I wonder what would happen if we threw an Ecto Cooper at that black mass.
Let's move on.
Experiments for when we are not expected to be company.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So much blood.
It's probably
So much
fruit.
pain.
It's probably fruit.
I'm gonna
Oh,
mark
right.
that on the map too. Um,
On the plus side, it wasn't your blood. There's always that.
Zoe is very pale at this point, squeezing the general. Yes.
okay. So, you guys go up to Hanzo's apartment number, and unlike most of the other doors, which are dark inside as if no one is home, except for the one that had the green light, and the one that was a mass of black tentacles, and the one that is now stained with Gusher Boy blood, you arrive at one that is lit up with a sort of reddish-orange light. This is the apartment of Susan Hanzo.
Rad.
What do you do?
Knock
We
on
knock.
the door.
Kodo knocks on the front door.
El Coatl knocks on the front door, and it opens to reveal a 70-year-old Japanese woman in loose-fitting work clothes with big, heavy gloves on and a bandana wrapped around her head.
Hello.
Hi.
Greetings.
She looks at you all. Her eyes briefly linger on the luchador, but looks at the rest of you.
Kaiko's still fidgeting with her face on.
So what do you want?
What was that door?
I don't pry. Is that your business?
No, we were sent by Mephaus to get a sword made of smoke.
Get a sword made of smoke. Okay. Come on in.
And fire.
And she motions for you all to come on in.
I do.
Drake takes.
Kodo strolls in like it's nobody's business.
And she's in a... So her apartment looks like a normal small apartment for the most part, except on one wall, stretching very far into what would be like 3 other apartments, is a very large forge.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Roomy.
What's the rent like here?
She sits down on a chair and motions for the rest of you to sit on a couch.
Okay.
Kodo also sits on the couch.
Do you mind cats?
She shrugs non-committally.
She lets the general down finally.
The general says before doing the cat thing, which is immediately going to explore every corner of this space. And the lady sits back and says, "Do you want tea or coffee?"
Tea would be wonderful. I have not
I
had
would
tea in
like
the longest of
tea.
time.
I
And she
feel like
gets
there
up-
are too many adults here for me to ask.
She gets up from her chair and goes to the kitchen, which is not far because it's a very small apartment. And she says, "While I'm making tea, you can tell me why you want a sword."
We need to stop a monster from eating all of reality. We need to kill it in a nonsensical way.
Goes by the name of the Gourmand.
And it's been responsible for all of the murders and deaths as of late.
Oh, all of them. Wow.
5 of
That's a
them.
bad monster, she says while she starts making some tea.
You know the
And by all of them, the
trucker?
last 5.
Yeah. You know that trucker who had that problem where he died?
I don't. I stay out of people's business.
Ah.
Lots of strange things happen in this town, and lots of people want to try and stop them and get in the middle of them, and often end up making them worse. And quite often, those people come to me asking for a weapon.
Right.
And I make it for them, because if I don't make it for them, they make it harder for me.
Right.
So,
We don't want to make anything hard.
as she puts the kettle on, she turns to all of you and says, "You want a sword made of flame and smoke."
Correct.
That's what we were told.
That's simple enough. Do you have the flame and smoke?
Celia pulls out a lighter and some flash paper.
Kaiko fidgets it with her face.
That's not going to be enough for a sword.
Should I get?
Alcoatl passes his flamethrower, and he's been convenient to carry this entire time. It went on the item list. It has not been off the item list.
She looks at the luchador and says, "That should do. Come." And she motions for Alcoatl to follow her into the forge.
He does so like a blind idiot.
You follow her into the forge, and there are like just all these different tools. There's like an anvil for streaming out the sword. There's molds. There's like melting vats for metal and all that. She forges into one spot where she has various like baskets and things, and comes out with a ceramic pan. She makes sure her gloves, her insulated gloves, are on tight. Grabs a welding helmet and puts it on, and then lifts up the ceramic pan to you and says, "When you're ready."
Is that a good idea?
He just clicks it back and lets it shoot.
All right, you let the fire hit the pan, and the fire strikes the ceramic pan, and then begins to swirl inside it and get just continue to swirl and fill it up like water filling up a bowl. Until it almost reaches the edge of the pan, at which point she slams the pan down and ducks just under the stream of fire coming out of your flamethrower.
I click it off at that point.
It's like, all right, let that sit. And she pauses for a second, looks up, and then there's the whistle of the teapot, and we'll have a cup of tea.
Who are you?
I'm Susan Hanzo. But I'm sure Mafaust told you that, otherwise how would you be here?
Yeah, but that's your name. Who
Yes.
are you?
I
The young one
am
likes
Susan
stories.
Hanzo. I am a woman living in Melody. I make good blades.
Fair enough. So sometimes people have. We don't need to pry.
Fair.
She gives you all tea. It's pretty good. It's nice green tea.
Sometimes secrets are secrets for a reason.
There's no secret. I am a woman who lives in Melody. I make good blades.
Why Melody?
Because my parents raised me here, and I never decided to leave.
That's fair.
A solid answer.
Yeah,
That's why most people are in Melody.
yeah.
This is not why I'm in Melody, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, you may want to visit your sister after this whole thing, Alcoatl.
You have a sister?
And he waves his hand a little bit. More distant than sister.
Trust me, you're really gonna want to visit her.
I think we should listen to him.
The dead only speak in half-truths.
Meanwhile,
experience.
Kaiko is still.
So,
Susan sees Kaiko is looking nervous and says, "Sip your tea, girl. It will calm your nerves."
Kaiko's trying to, but still the residual.
Is this your first monster hunt?
no?
No, had a Bigfoot.
This is this is like our third?
That is more than I thought you had fought.
So it puts her head in her hands. What has my life become?
That's been amazing.
Better?
Not wrong.
Today that my face is covered in perpetual spectral flames.
Well, that happens to some of us. It could be much, much worse. You are not the first group of monster hunters I have seen in these parts. I doubt you will be the last.
When asked about like number of monster hunts, not sure if anyone noticed, but Isaac was kind of in the background, like counting off on his fingers.
You've made blades for them before.
Many people have come seeking blades, and I have always relented.
We don't want to force you.
That's sweet. But you need it, don't you? And you are certain that this creature needs killing. And if I do not make it for you, you will try to find someone else who will. And perhaps you will find someone else, and they will ask something of you, and that will lead to more mischief. Easier that I make the blade. And you take care of your business, and you either live or die, and things go on.
If we die,
You have been doing this for a while.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this thing's kind of a reality eater, so Melody might be the relocative. We don't.
That would be the 5th time I think that has been
More
of
of
the
a
threats we
third.
have been dealing with.
have you been part of monster hunting team now, Drake?
No, what? You're crazy.
Have you?
Drink your tea, dear. It's getting cold.
Oh, the fire! And she goes back into the forge, and she flips over the ceramic pan, and the fire is now sort of... It's still burning and raging inside the pan, but it's doing so slower. Like it's calmed down. And she then proceeds to pour the flame and smoke into a sword mold, and the flame and smoke actually does, like, flow into it like liquid would. At which point she closes the other part of the sword mold onto it, and then takes that sword mold and puts it, bizarrely enough, into the open flame of one of the it's not like an oven, but like you know, the melting part of a she puts it into a fucking oven. Yeah, she puts it into a hearth.
There you go.
Yeah, there's the word that makes sense. When she comes back into the room, she collects any of the empty teacups and, you know, puts them into the sink before sitting down.
Where did you learn this?
My father taught me.
Blade making is a fine tradition.
She nods. Not many people have a use for it now. Everyone goes with automated processes for this sort of thing, but in some places there are needs of a skill.
Yes. It is a little old school, but I am not one to judge on old school.
Are you actually a luchador, or is that just a thing the kids are doing these days?
It is complicated. Yes and no. It is no, it is not a thing that kids are doing these days. Am I a luchador? Yes and no.
Alright. More
There's a
awkward
whole-
silence in
More
the,
awkward.
the old Japanese woman's apartment.
It is the kind of a curse thing. Yada yada yada. It's a long story.
Can you use a blade?
Yes, I have
Not
used it
you.
multiple times.
Not you.
Oh,
Yeah, a couple of times I've used the blade.
What?
I used one just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've used for knives. I have never used a sword. I can make them. I have never been a fighter.
Very valid.
What other kind of swords can you make?
I can make a sword out of anything, she says as she returns to the smithery.
Even
It's been milk, dreams, thread. She opens the mold, takes the sword, and puts it into, she's grabbing it with tongs. She puts it into a thing of water, and you see, steam rise up. And then she pulls it out, and you see a sword, like a fucking katana, with, a handle that is black and has a swirling, moving color to it, like smoke, and a blade that's orange, but also has a swirling color to it, like fire. And she begins wrapping the handle, so that it doesn't, so that it's more comfortable in the hand, while saying, "You bring me the material, and I can make a sword of it, or a knife, or any other blade. That is my talent."
Noted.
Thank you.
And she presents the finished sword to you all.
So, who wants to use the sword?
Well, we'll be able to injure the thing with whatever we bring. It's just that we have to kill it with this.
Yeah.
I can hold it for the time being. It will not get weird. Cannot get too much weirder with my appearance.
Is there
As it
any
is.
requirements for using the sword at all, or?
Pretty sure you just hit things with the pointy end.
Yeah.
It's just a sword.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Would you like a visitor every once in a while?
No, I have a fine social life.
Okay.
Her fine social life is like mine, where I tell everybody to fuck off and die.
Yeah, essentially, yes.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
And occasionally Faust, I'm guessing.
Well,
Mephaus
I think she has a
doesn't
somewhat
work
contentious relationship with Mephaus because Mephaus gets her customers. And she's not exactly happy about that.
So, guess we'll go take care of this now.
Good luck.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Time to get up and get the moving.
Yep. Time to give that door an ecto cooler.
Or do not give. We don't.
I'm doing it.
Serve anybody.
All right,
Great.
do you guys leave Miss Hanzo's apartment?
Yeah.
All right, you leave the apartment, you head down the stairs, you pass the black tentacle door.
Drake throws an ecto cooler.
All right, tentacle grabs an ecto cooler. Another tentacle plucks off the straw, pokes it through the little hole in the carton, and then a third tentacle wraps itself around the straw and sort of, gets jelly-like flesh to sort of start sucking on it. And immediately the straw in the carton explode as thousands of screaming corpse faces composed of green, moving slime howl madly as they are sucked into the black mass of the door. just
I knew
thousands,
it. I knew electric cooler was made out of ghosts.
thousands of mortal souls screaming in anguish as they're sucked into the black, inky depths of the door. And then they're gone.
I am never drinking Ecto Cooler again.
I'm never drinking anything.
But it tastes really good, though.
Yeah. Drake pulls out another ecto cooler and starts drinking it. You sure?
Well,
Drake,
No.
Drake, for drinking an ecto cooler as a being composed of ghost residue, you gain a temporary buff.
Hey!
Your armor is now 2 points higher than it would be for the rest of this session.
Where do I put that?
Just wherever. Just remember it for when you get hit by something. Okay. Unless you guys have more fucking around with the black mystery door to do.
No, we're going back to Mephaus now because Hal has already started down the stairs. He has not stopped at the tentacle door.
Are you going to Mephaus? Do you have business with Mephaus?
We
Yeah,
have to
I
let
thought
the
we-
other things go.
in her store?
I thought
We
brought
left them
those with us.
there.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
I thought we brought those with us.
Did
Yeah.
we?
I thought they were in the car.
I kind of assumed you guys have kept them around, but you know,
Yeah. That's
Okay.
What
I guess that's a good thing. What did you guys do with the monsters?
I guess they're in the
kept them in-
car.
Isaac would have secured them.
You
In the,
left them in the car. Cool.
No, I kept them in
secured
the
them
box.
in the car.
You left them contained in the car. Correct? Yes?
Is that what we
Yeah.
did with
I-
them?
Yes, but I'm not gonna like the answer. I don't think.
Okay. You left them contained and then in the car.
Yes.
You get back to the car and they're in there. It's fine.
Okay.
Huh.
Hey, Drake, do you have any pizza on you?
That's absurd. I can't carry non-sealed things. They'd
What
get-
about Totino's party pizza?
Yeah.
I guess I am riding with Hal again.
Yeah, I'll really enjoy riding with you.
Okay, so where are we releasing these things then?
That's a good question. Where are you releasing these
Oh,
things
wait.
then?
I was gonna say
That's right.
we can control where it or. They're in one of the bunkers.
Isaac, do
Cowboy
you remember
entertainment.
where the first crash was, by chance?
It was
Highway.
on the highway.
Should we release them there so they would be closer to the
I don't think
Gourmand?
you want to go near the highway at all.
Why not?
Because Big Mel looks over the highway.
Yeah, we're not going there.
No one's told how Kodal Big Mouth is. He's like, I don't know why we wouldn't just go
We'll
through the
explain
highway.
once everything's back to normal.
Alright,
Promise.
El Cuervo. There's this giant 100-foot tall cowboy. And
Drake.
he's-
You don't
That's
want to
big cat.
mention it here.
We were told
Are
not
we
to
in the
say.
real world or not?
Faust said not to.
You are still in Bewitched Melody.
Yeah.
Ah.
Otherwise, there wouldn't have been a tentacle door.
Oh, I thought that was standard for regular Melody, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay.
Faust said not to mention it here.
You have to confront this thing in the Bewitched Melody because it's a thing that's currently trapped between dimensions. The positive side of things is that, like, if you make it part of your dimension, you can kill it, but like they would have to meet it back here to make it form. Like they would have to like do that process here because they can't pull it out of the dimension. They have to give it a body for it to enter your dimension. So if you kill it while it's still here in Bewitched Melody, but it has a body capable of inhabiting your dimension, victory won.
Okay.
If it gets into your reality, you might have some issues.
Okay,
So we want to find someplace here in the Witch Melody for it to form so we can kill it.
guys.
Alrighty.
Maybe in the park? I mean,
I was
there's...
thinking the park. Park would be a very safe place.
Guys. Let's set a trap. Her eyes are sparkling.
Let's set a trap!
Rock!
I like this idea. We should set a trap. So A may fist fight with this Gourmand.
And I can stab it.
Should you take the sword? You
I
seem
mean-
pretty good at stabbing things.
I am good with stabbing things.
This is true. And I would trust Celia with my life with this.
Hey, General.
No.
You wouldn't happen to be able to get any of the others' help over here, would you?
The general raises an eyebrow like the other cats.
Yes.
Meow.
Is that a yes, no, maybe?
Meow.
Since it
And
didn't.
risk getting them scored.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's leave them out of this one.
So we're
So what's this trap you're setting?
You are the master genius. We will
Okay.
follow your orders.
So what we're going to do is we're going to lead it. We'll let it go and lead it to the woods.
We should do this where they're not listening.
I mean, I assumed we weren't in the car talking about it.
They're in the car.
I know, I assumed we weren't in the car.
Oh, yes, we were standing outside the car, I suppose.
Well, yeah, let's walk a little away so they can't hear us. Okay. Okay. Once it's formed, we'll lead it towards the woods. We'll set up the trap with El Quaddle using his sledgehammer to partially break a tree. And once it's in range, we drop the tree on it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a solid strategy. It worked last time.
Exactly.
Guys?
Huh?
Can they hear us?
We walked away,
Okay, good.
Wait,
and they're also in a car.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You guys did this before, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
2 different ways, yes.
Yeah, you may want to be careful with that, because they might learn, or they might remember.
I relish the challenge.
So no trees.
Hmm.
Then how about pitfall trap?
We could run it over.
Do you know how big it
gonna
is?
be.
Do we
I
have
mean-
any shock traps?
No. Oh. And do we really want to risk it being the kind of monster that if you put it on a shock trap, it gets stronger?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, we do have, 4 flamethrowers?
Oh, yeah, we could leave. One of us could lure it into the range of the flamethrowers.
Yeah.
How feasible
Yeah,
would
we
it
all
be to
managed
rig
to
a
torch.
mine using flamethrower fuel?
God,
Well, I
blow
mean,
it
I
up.
am out of flamethrower fuel. I made it for the sword.
And we have other flamethrowers.
How feasible would it be to do what?
Make
make
a
it-
mine using flamethrower fuel as the explosive.
I don't know. I've never built a mine.
Flamethrower,
Assuming
IED.
You
How-
need the specific parts of a mine's casing, and I don't know whether mines use flamethrower fuel to
Well,
explode.
And if we look
Flamethrowers-
up how to make a flamethrower IED, we'll get
I guess that depends. Is making mines out of scrap material in anyone's skill set here?
I mean, Hal's a construction worker.
he
I mean,
builds
Construction
I mean,
workers, they build mines all the time.
he builds houses.
In theory, Kay?
In theory, if you can figure out how to just do a basic thing like flint ignition, like you press something to ignite some flint, which creates a spark, which makes the fuel explode, and make it ignite via pressure, like a pressure plate, or a plate.
Is there a mechanical reason you can justify Kaiko knowing how to do this not just in theory, but in practice?
Not Kygo, no, but another person like, say, Isaac.
Isaac doesn't build any of this
I don't
shit that he
think
has.
so. Isaac gets all his
I
stuff
was
from a mad scientist.
Okay,
I
we
was
can just
a
lead them into
medic.
a spot
I-
and blast them with
I wasn't in bombs.
That is in
Yeah,
my
I-
skill set. Leading into
Isaac's-
a trap
Isaac's-
is my...
So, probably gonna need a more low-tech trap than a fucking mine. Probably gonna need, like,
A pit with spikes.
Okay, El Coatl has a
because the
plan.
traps of the mystery-solving teen are like, Scooby-Doo Rube Goldberg devices rather than
explosive.
military weapons jury-rigged out of shit.
Okay,
I mean,
okay. El-
we could
El
just
Coatl has a
find a
plan.
way to get it contained, like snares or a pit. We could torch it.
Yeah.
El Coatl has a plan.
And you
We make
guys,
a pit.
you guys do know roughly how this thing's body is going to move because you've seen the babies. You know, you've seen the meatballs. They move with 6 spidery limbs.
But you'd pull a Star Wars and try to trip it up, tangle its
And then
Not a
knock
bad
it.
idea.
Yeah, and then knock it into a pit full of spikes.
Really
If
hung
you're
up
going
on
to
the
dig the
spike
pit.
pit.
Yeah, like
I mean, we could.
Is that how
dig a
one of
pit?
you died in a previous life?
I don't know.
Looks at Drake.
I get vague memories.
Okay, we could dig a pit.
Get vague memories.
Okay,
Waddle
we need.
stares for a second into the horizon.
We should get. Like, we're getting way too off. Way too complicated here.
Yeah, we're getting a little offbeat here.
I feel a sudden urge to smack you upside the head. Drake. I don't know why.
Me too.
A snake emerges from a nearby bush and says, "That was kind of a stretch," and then slithers away.
Okay. Anyway.
Thank you, random snake.
You're welcome.
We lead it into a certain. One of us leads it into an opening where the others are hiding and blast it with the flamethrowers.
Okay.
And have the person who is the bait trap it so it
I
dies and does not
know
run away.
just the person to be bait.
I was going to volunteer, yes.
No. Looks to Hal.
Hal flips her off.
Come on, Hal. We
Got
can
the
do
snake
this.
And the gator. You got both of them to come together.
Mm-hmm.
Right
And
now,
we're-
over me.
I didn't get them to do anything together.
But you got them to, catch you. And this
Hal.
time you have an axe just in case.
Yeah,
However-
and plus.
However, Hal will have a steadier hand for the flamethrower. I have been doing nothing but gathering everyone's attention for the last couple of days.
That's also a
Has
good
it been a couple of days?
And you did suplex
It's
it.
been literally one afternoon.
Gosh,
Oh,
my
Koala,
entire...
you have been out of the TV for like a few hours. Like 6 at most.
I have been, in the last 6 hours, I've gotten the attention of over 15 people. I think a giant skittering spider monster will notice me.
Yeah,
And
you did
I can suplex
it.
it.
It might be pissed at you. Okay then. Coaddle's the bait.
Good. I can
Okay.
run faster than most of you. Maybe not Hal, but the rest of you.
Yeah.
Or you could be. Yeah. Well, how many flamethrowers do we have?
3.
Yeah, we use up fuel for one.
One we use most of its fuel though to make the blade.
Yeah.
We can see if Faust has more fuel, but I do not think she has more fuel. That
Like
is
it-
oddly
I think
specific for her
blasting
shot.
it with 3 flamethrowers at once will be enough, where we can just go cut its head off with a smoke sword.
Which is my job.
Yes.
So
I mean,
You
if
will
she
eat
has
it.
fuel, then she maybe has other things to use.
but do we have anything to trade for stuff?
No, not particularly.
TT?
Yeah, you don't.
Okay,
I
no.
mean, do you? Did you guys grab some shit to
No,
try
we
and
were making
trade?
sure you could talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because.
Yeah, I've been listening to you guys planning, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, your icon is. Oh, it's always lit up?
Yeah, for some reason, TT's icon is always lit up on Discord.
Probably because my microphone's fairly good, so it's picking up a lot of ambient shit.
Probably.
You can turn down its sensitivity if you do desire.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't get as much pleasure when it has sexual congress, so...
You
Yeah,
don't
that's
have
fair.
sexual congress.
Yeah, but my microphone does, and I approve its life choices.
That's fair.
So, Kaiko has a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Hal has a flamethrower.
Isaac has a flame.
Although I think
Isaac has a flamethrower.
El Coaddle had the flamethrower.
No, that's who's going to wield them when we lure the.
Yeah.
There are
We're
three
planning for the
things.
trap, not talking about the past.
Yeah.
I also
Well, we
have
only have
another
two
weapon in my
flamethrowers, so
car.
I think Isaac and Hal.
No, we had 4 originally. El Coatl used 1. We have 3.
Yeah, we had 4. We used up 1.
I thought we had 3.
No, we had 4.
Nope, we had
We had
Yeah,
4.
4.
There was there were 3 normal flamethrowers and 1 special flamethrower from Dr. Wen.
So, and Isaac has a special one.
Yes.
Got it.
Isaac uses his, Hal uses 1, and you use 1, Kaiko. Celia has the sword to finish the job. El Coatl leads it into the fire, and assuming after he gets blasted with the fire, you're strong enough that you can at least bash it over the head to keep it busy, while Celia goes to finish it off.
And I'll make waffles.
What could you use? What can you do, Drake? Is there anything you can
Drake
do
can
here?
help me be a distraction.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can teleport around in here, can't you?
probably.
I mean, dead guys are hard to kill.
I mean, I don't want to risk that. This
It'll
thing's
be
not
fun.
from our reality.
I feel like I've fought this before.
Oh.
Oh, you meta dick.
Yeah, but the mechanics are going to be different this time.
I mean, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
So,
someone
let's
said
make...
that once too.
Okay, before we move on, sorry, there's a question I've been meaning to ask. Does anyone, and I'm being serious about this, have firearm training? Not just experience shooting again, but training.
I don't think so.
Nope.
Kaiko, I think, is
Kaiko
trained.
holds her hand in a wavy motion. I
Her
think-
sister
Okay.
worked with the FBI, so
and
Kaiko
Yeah,
has been
that's
trained
what
by a
Isaac was-
professional.
my
Yeah,
sister-
Isaac
my
had
sister
assumed
taught me a
that.
bit of
Like-
things.
Hal
know
is
how
the
to- Isaac pulls out his little pistol and is like, "Do you know how to use a handgun?"
Yes. Kaiko holds up her I think it's a 2mm.
Yeah, Kaiko
Sure.
already has a gun.
Oh,
Kaiko has a 9mm. Kaiko has a 9mm.
same. Okay, never mind.
Alright, so
Anything heavier? Wait, any experience with heavier weaponry?
Gun pals!
Gun pals.
Well,
So-
no. Isaac has maybe a plan.
I mean, I was taught to use in emergency.
After I've got a rifle in my car, so after we release the things, I might pass that off to you.
we're
Okay.
shooting it with flamethrowers.
This is
But
in
a
case
gun
if
can
I-
shoot further at range. It could possibly help draw it towards the trap.
And I think that
That's
would give you guys, it would give everyone a weapon to attack this thing, because then the other flamethrower could go to someone else.
That's fair, that's fair.
Yes.
And
So
plus,
Kaiko is given a rifle.
And Zoe would have the
Really?
other
I mean,
flame.
not yet.
Um,
It's still in the car, and the critters. The
Yeah,
worm
but
things,
for the
it.
trap, Kaiko will have access to a really top of the line, not released on the market yet rifle. Yes.
Oh shit.
So,
Yeah, it's not the kind you find in the gun shop. This is like prototype looking.
so, should we set it up?
All right.
Who's
Ex-
helping? I guess. Who's?
Describe step by step what you're doing with the trap after you release the monsters. Because you got to give this thing time to form.
Yeah.
Yes.
While it's forming,
So,
where?
first you go to the car and you release the monsters. Correct?
Yes. El Coatl in particular looks at the one he suplex and be like, "I want a fair fight," and he releases it.
When you pour it out of its container, it slumps to the ground. Its limbs stretch out. It looks at you with its meatball body, which has been forming more skin as it's been waiting, and 2 little indents above its eye split into lips and form big smiles. And the 2 mouths begin speaking in unison. Then you shall have it. Before it skitters away. The one that was all beat to shit from the tree slurps out of its little tube, slowly
Zoe
lifts
flips it off.
slowly lifts itself on broken limbs, stares daggers at you all, then sees that the other one is already skittering away, looks at the 3 burnt carcasses, and you feel like if Mephaust hadn't cut open the parts that were going to be its mouths earlier, and thus denied it the chance to form those mouths correctly, it would heave a sigh. as it collects the charred carcasses of its fellows with its back legs and begins sort of crawling down the street.
We should have given it like a little red wagon.
Zoe flips it off as it goes.
It would flip you off if it didn't have its arms full. So there's a part of this thing that is going to give you another fair fight. There's another part that's just really pissed.
And there
And then there
are
are 3
another.
parts that are dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 parts that turned around in a flamethrower. Alright.
Everybody but
Well, 2 parts that turned around and there was a flamethrower. 1 part that was dissected and then burned alive.
Jeez.
There's
So,
probably some
you know.
residual there.
That or it was closer
I
to
imagine
death.
that part really wishes Dr. Masters went with you.
Right. So, let's get this started.
yeah. You guys gonna help me set the trap?
So
Well,
we're
Alright.
setting a pitfall trap or vine trap or
A pitfall trap with spikes! Pulls
Alright,
out
so
the-
you're making a
you
Burmese
can't even
tiger
pick up
trap
spikes.
then. You're
basically.
making
Yep.
a Burmese tiger trap if it's a pitfall trap with spikes.
Yep.
How big's this pit you're digging?
Like deep or what? Depth or width?
I'm gonna need width as well as depth. We're technically gonna need diameter as well as depth.
Does anyone know where we can find the backhoe?
Going to dig it deep enough that El Coatl could stand inside.
Wait
of
a
it.
minute.
No,
Hal has construction equipment.
it
You
does.
do.
And Drake works at a cemetery where they dig graves. They don't have.
We could conceivably make this thing as deep as you need. And, and as wide as you
Yeah,
need.
we get the machine.
We should make it at least 12 feet deep so it falls in and can't get out.
Yeah, get out easily.
Dig.
And we can just have Drake dig it and then teleport out of it.
Dig a hole,
Could
dig
you
a hole.
could you teleport Hal out with you?
I could.
Oh yeah, you do. You two are the diggers here.
Okay.
Would you like help?
And where are you digging these pits?
In the park.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you guys getting any big construction equipment, or are you just using shovels?
we're still in the Twisted Melody, right?
Yeah, you're not. Spoiler: you're not leaving this until this fight happens.
So Hal knows where construction equipment is. He could conceivably go and get a backhoe.
Yep.
Yeah. Get that hoe, Hal.
All right, Hal is going off alone to get a backhoe.
To be fair,
El Coatl goes with her.
I think Kaiko is going to be given the rifle.
Kaiko's got a rifle.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
so,
I look like
yeah,
yeah.
Kaiko has the rifle. Celia has the sword.
to be fair,
El
I
Coatl
could
has
go
his
by
fist and his
myself.
sledgehammer. Yes, you could go by yourself. However, we do not know when this Gourmand will come, and I do not want you to be ambushed by yourself.
El Coatl puts a hand on your shoulder.
Of course.
It's very, very. It makes you have feelings.
Good.
Hey, you know you're not related now.
His muscles are just rippling.
There's probably
Beneath
some
my,
sweat.
like,
Stop
three-piece
that.
suit.
It's really hard for me to roleplay a crush.
You're doing fantastic.
Yeah.
So off you two go. Everyone else, what are you doing back at the park?
Getting the base hull of the hole started.
Okay, so you're doing it with shovels?
Yeah.
Okay, Drake gets you some shovels from the cemetery, and you guys start digging a hole in the park. You notice the park is one of the areas of Melody that is just bigger. Like,
The
it just stretches
gold
on.
Cortez, the jewels of Pizarro will seem like mere trinkets by this time tomorrow.
You start digging, and it's going well, and then you feel a slight tremor.
Kaiko is keeping tabs on everything.
And then, like about 50 feet away, the ground begins to sort of like tremble a little bit, and then it splits open in two pieces, and now it emerges in a massive orange brownish worm.
Oh.
Hi.
And its head snakes up out of the ground and turns and looks at you all. It's got like sort of it's segmented. It's kind of gooey. It's like a big earthworm, but the front of it, without eyes or anything, sort of opens into a big round jaw full of needle-like teeth, like a cartoon leech.
Right.
And when the big round mouth gapes open for a moment before it starts to contract and stretch over and over again as it says, "Hey, what are you doing to my dirt?"
We were building a Burmese tiger trap. Sure.
Yeah, there's an outsider here.
What?
We're
Yep.
trying to kill a gourmand.
What's a gourmand?
And then
Want to eat
Kruger.
this entire reality?
Oh no!
It's gonna eat your dirt.
He's gonna eat my dirt?
It's gonna eat your dirt.
Oh!
Just moving your dirt around. We'll fill it back up when we're done.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh, you're going really slow though.
We can use help.
Yeah, you could help.
Are we coming back with the backhoe at this point? I think we are.
Alquaddle is standing on top of
Alquaddle and
the-
Hal, you guys go to whatever we jokingly named the Home Depot Lowe's amalgamation. The Low Depot, or whatever.
Depot.
You get there, and it happens to be across from a car lot. And while you're there, you see that in the used car lot, which coincidentally enough, you've been to earlier today. In the used car lot, there's one car that's kind of just driving by itself,
Oh.
just around the other cars. It looks vaguely like a 1950s red Cadillac.
Alquaddle waves?
The car stops, and then it curls up like a pill bug.
Alright. That takes the weirdest thing I've seen so far today.
And then Hal at the well, it wouldn't be the Home Depot Lowe's. It'd be like a construction site or construction like place where they would store the vehicles. Anyway, it's in this. It's going to be in this area because this is the area where you would have big spaces for construction equipment and trucks and buses and shit. It's the place that's on the outskirts of town where you can store warehouses and shit like that.
Yep.
So you get a
By the
backhoe.
junkyard.
Yeah, but nearest the junkyard, Spindle is in the same location, although it's a bit north. It's the part of town that's sort of like it's not the big city. It's just not a big city, but this is sort of the business district. It's where you got shit stored and people go to offices to work and stuff.
Mhm.
And there happens to be a used car lot sort of nearish by. And that's where you saw a red Cadillac that apparently is segmented like some sort of pill bug. And you get your backhoe,
Yep.
and you begin driving on the road with a backhoe.
Hey guys, can we take a quick break? I gotta pick up Shannon.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be back momentarily.
Yeah, and I can post this glorious image I found, or video. It actually wants to...
It doesn't. It knows better.
Oh, Shady, why?
What?
Oh, Shady, why?
You can see it?
Yes.
And they click on it.
Oh.
You know what the worst part is? It's
What?
almost probably good.
No, that would not be good for me.
Shady, why?
I saw it, now you guys have to as well.
I'll be back.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not actually sorry. I wonder what the taste would be like. Because, you have the watermelon there, and also the cheese, sauce, and pepperoni. These are questions. So, how do you guys like the reveal?
I think it was perfectly in character.
Good.
Yes.
I mean,
can't wait
we
till-
knew it was coming because your archetype was the spooky, I think. Like, there was always supposed to be something a little off about Drake, so...
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait till we go over Kotal's weird backstory.
Yeah, that's a trip.
You let
Yeah.
me make it a trip.
Yeah, I know. Well, if there's one thing this particular arc of Melody has been trying to establish, is that this story is actually a lot weirder than it first seemed.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait till Drake encounters Simon again.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this Gourmand go extinct.
Yeah. We're basically at the point where it's like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Just one more.
Maybe two if I put it in shape saving.
Maybe.
Does it have
I mean-
less HP than it did in the first Offbeat Melody?
Well, technically, yes, but no one has very high HP in the Monster of the Week system because everyone hits very, very hard.
Okay, good to know.
Yes.
Well,
I
on the
can't wait
plus
till I have to jump the pit and then fail and fall in and die.
you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And probably the best thing everyone learned about this session is that Hal is technically not related to Drake.
And also technically related to Drake.
Yeah, but not by blood. More spiritual.
Yeah.
He isn't related to his Kaiko.
Mm-hmm.
Drake's essentially a poltergeist. Just a bunch of spiritual residue.
Mm-hmm.
At least he's a fun one.
Yeah, originally I was gonna make it all dramatic, but it was like, and I wasn't falling from the sky when I was asleep, so it was just like, I'll ham it up.
It was very in character.
It was.
Mhm. My other option was to, as I was falling, be like, "Look out, fuckers!" Because admittedly, I thought I would splat on the ground.
I appreciate that you Skyrim looped.
Yeah, that was TT's idea.
Be right back.
Tiny residual lemons will be best for this boy. I bought a new sketchbook because my old sketchbook was getting kind of full.
Mhm.
So I've been doodling in it this entire time. And I've already drawn 3 new monsters, 1 other I've conceptual. Well, 2 new monsters and 2 I've conceptualized in the past. And I'm working
Nice.
on another.
Nice. I drew a Godzilla.
Nice.
Thank you.
What a crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
That really is. Hello, I am the Russian man who runs Sadme. Here with a sponsorship message. Eat sad meats. Get better, nerds. You have to bulk up to be strong like Russian men. Wrestle tigers. Advertisement over. Why are you still filming? Get out of my shop.
No, okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Everybody's going to die.
I
Welcome back.
almost wanted to spoil Coddle's truth, but at the same point, it's much more fun to do it in character.
This is the end of this particular monster arc, unless you guys really beef up trying to kill it, in which case some fun things could happen, I guess. I should ask you, Gray, how do you want to end things with El Coatl this arc? Do you want me to give you a reason to step out of the story for a bit, or what?
That's a good question.
Because right now you're our guest star character.
Yes.
And I'm fine with you being a recurring guest star character, but like
You want other people to pop in as well, and I don't want to take their opportunities.
yeah, and also like, you know, I need to know how to end the session.
I mean, that's fair.
Because you sticking around to go on more adventures next time we play is going to make us have to end differently than you, you know, going away for a bit to pop in later at a different story.
You can make him go away. I was enjoying it. I was enjoying a guest character, but I need to work on my El Coatl voice before he returns. So
Okay, so then I will do the door out for you then.
I would like to get the opportunity if possible, and it may just be to Drake as we go BP, because that's when I was planning it. But I'm gonna just start doing some lore dumping on El Coatl before he vanishes for a couple of arcs,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
because that's the fun part. You get people hooked into the El Coatl and make him want to come back.
Welcome back.
What? How?
Heard you saying that. Heard you messing with like the microphone or whatnot.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. Enjoy that weirdness for the night.
Ah, you're dead, Shiny Mewtwo.
And
What?
So what this has done is just makes me want to play more games with you guys.
it is good. It is
Yeah.
fun playing a game.
Yeah. Also, what? Why was there a shiny Mewtwo dead?
Pokemon Shuffle.
Ah. Okay. You heathen, killing a shiny for shame.
You got the kill to catch him in this.
You weirdo.
Maybe so.
Yeah. What a thought. I know much, but also little.
You what?
Know much, but also little. And Scappa's still recording this, isn't she?
Yep.
There's no reason to stop the chaos.
Callie never stops.
I don't stop recording.
We had a several hour long gap while everyone waited for PV to make it back, and Callie kept going.
What the hell are you? Why did I put... You're only a 5-minute sketch. Why do you look so decent? What the fuck? Oh god. Oh god. Did I know the minion's true form?
What? Also, I'm
Like-
still waiting for your boss's gift, by the way.
I'm trying. It's taking some time. Don't worry, you'll get a gift, boss. You'll get the gift.
I don't know who this lizardy boy I'm doodling is, but I enjoy doodling him.
Look at you two being all productive over there.
Productive. It's crazy.
I'm opening for the next, 4 or 5 days.
Mm.
Well, no, okay. I open for the next 2 days. I'm off Wednesday. I open Thursday and Friday, and I close Saturday.
I essentially drew what happens if a minion mixed with a gourmand with a little devil Joe and flea.
Why?
I don't know. I just noticed that the eye looked like a fucking minion goggle. And it also has these hairy arms.
So I'm drawing a couple of concepts that I doodled out yesterday. Because I wanted to work on the flying amphibian kaiju based on Diplocaulus Diplorator. That's how I'm pronouncing it.
Diploraptor?
Diplorator is his name now. That's how you say it.
Okay.
I've never said it out loud. But I wanted to doodle him on my third page. And then I'm like, I have enough room for another monster. So I'm having a weird semi-dragon, semi-Waterhouse Hawkins iguanodon thing. Be surprised by his appearance. Why? Fuck if I know. It's just what kind of came to me.
Ooh, I got a bronze on. Neat.
Bronze zones are fun.
Ooh, a chandelier. Chandelier, why?
What?
Why did it make that noise?
I tried to make.
It's a ghost fueled by the souls it stole. Are you surprised?
Oh my god, Drake is a chandelier.
Yeah, pretty much.
Drake is a more benign chandelier.
Or a Runarigus. Either or.
I don't think you can be a benign Runarigus. Its whole shtick is eating souls. I guess that's same. Yeah, never mind.
Also, it's one of those things whenever TT narrates things, I just draw better.
Aww. I am like God that way.
Look, I'm not denying this. Because, when we were talking at G-Fest at that one, how to design your own monster panel, and we both went, in the first 2 minutes, went, yeah, this fucking sucks, let's doodle. And you were whispering to me the entire time it was going on, and I was still listening to these guys, because they had some good points.
Mm-hmm.
But there were points that you and I had long ago said, fuck this shit, we're doing our own shtick.
There was a how to design a monster panel?
There was a panel on, the do's and don'ts of creating your own kaiju.
Within the first
original kaiju.
one was don't design your own green, fire-breathing dinosaur rip-off Godzilla already.
And if you have to make a reptile kaiju, for God's sakes, don't base it on a T-Rex.
And
I'm just sitting there with my little model of Tyrantus and my copies of my book in my bag and thinking, I don't belong in this room, do I?
You didn't think that, you said that.
I was like, this is definitely not for me then. I'm not welcome here. They weren't calling me out specifically, but they were also kind of specifically calling me out. I doubt those guys know who I am or that I even exist, but it was sort of like, oh, yeah, this isn't gonna be stuff for me then, huh?
Yeah.
Because the whole thrust of their argument was basically don't do stuff that has been done before, because it has been done a bajillion times and everyone is sick enough of seeing it and you're not going to stand out. And it's going to be very hard. Well, actually, they're going to say you're not going to be able to tell an interesting story with it. and that's not necessarily bad advice.
However,
they-
the best part was they kind of loop back after he left, and when but at the same point, we reinvented our own things, but this is now already done. So kind of just do what you want to do. Just try to think critically about it. And I'm like, oh hey, we'll miss this part.
Yeah. Basically, it was like, it's the don't do something that's been done before argument, which, as a writer and a drawer and all that, like, I don't think is bad advice, but I think it's advice that should come with a qualification. I think, I don't believe that you shouldn't do something because it's been done before. I think that if something has been done before, you have to think about, like, the various ways it's been done before, what those say, why it's popular, and then think, is there a spin I can put on this that is meaningful? Not even necessarily unique, just one that is meaningful. Like, I stuck with Tyrannus, mainly on a nostalgia, but I tried to think about what the scaly reptilian kaiju archetype is and how it's usually used, and what people often have it mean, and then tried to play with that. Just like I'm gonna do the same with the ape kaiju archetype when in Adam Volume 2. Like, I think just because something is done before and has been done often doesn't necessarily mean that, like, you can't do more stuff with it and you can't do interesting stuff with it. But at the same time, I also think for, like, a new and aspiring writer or creator, like, there is the risk of taking an archetype and just doing what has happened before. I think the vast majority of big scaly, fire-breathing, bipedal, green reptile monsters out there are just Godzilla clones. They are big, angry monsters that are lashing out at the world and destroying stuff. Or are grumpily protecting the world from evil monsters. Gorgo's a great movie, but Ogra, the mother of Gorgo, doesn't really behave much differently than Godzilla. Reptilicus is a fun monster flick, but Reptilicus isn't really that different than Godzilla. Gamera, however, is different because Gamera's got the friend of all children thing going on. Gamera's got a far more heroic bent than Godzilla, and that's part of what allowed Gamera to stand out, and why Gamera has a franchise and monsters like Reptilicus and Gorgo don't. Because Gamera took the archetype in a different direction than Godzilla did, as opposed to just repeating what Godzilla did. And Gamera still has some meaningful echoes of what Godzilla did. The first Gamera movie is black and white, specifically in a tribute to the 1954 film. So, like, I think that's the thing about archetypes. Like, the simple, easy wisdom is just don't do what's come before, but I think the more true wisdom is if you look at what's come before and decide which elements you can put an interesting spin on, which elements you think you have something new to say about, or even just something uniquely you to say about, and which elements you are comfortable just chucking or, avoiding. And don't be afraid to do something new. Yeah. They were really aggressive on the don't do a green dinosaur monster, though.
Yeah, they were aggressive at it from first.
Like, they were like, I'm so sick of seeing it, it's my pet peeve, I hate it, and I'm just like...
Yeah, and this is also Pete Roll, who has Orc Kong and a giant fucking crane. It's not even like a kaiju-fied crane. It's just like straight up a giant crane, and I'm like... Because I went to his booth before and after the thing, and I went... Okay. Speaking of which, I need to reply to that email so I can pop up in his next book as one of the people to be trampled upon.
TT, when I get published, me and someone else should do our own panel.
That would be fun. Maybe I hope the call for panels is not as aggressive as the Artist Alley call for Godzilla.
No, it's mostly volunteer and picking your time slot. Newer ones.
Love Red
Then that's doable, because let me tell you, my first year trying to get an Artist Alley, pretty sure it's not successful. Not 100% sure yet, because I've only seen 2 people on Twitter announce that they have a seat there, and I don't know if they're still choosing or not. And they haven't announced a full Artist Alley list. But I'm pretty sure I'm not getting in.
Aw.
That's fine. Just means I can fuck around a bit more.
Excellent.
It would be
we can
nice to
have
have a booth, but it also would have been stressful because I would have to figure out how to get all the shit down there. And then a part of me would be like spending the months before GFest thinking like, are people going to be mad that I took up valuable space in the Artist Alley and I'm not that good of an artist?
Well,
Which-
you are.
Yeah, but I also have imposter syndrome, so
Yeah.
saying I deserve to be here is all well and good, but my brain will constantly tell me the opposite.
It's why you and me, maybe next year, maybe a year afterwards, you do a panel together.
That would be fun. It'd be rad as hell. I would love to do a Godzilla Fest panel.
Basically, how did it basically like a history of the fan kaiju community or some shit like that?
I would like to do a panel on kaiju story archetypes and how to play with them, because I've sat at the how to be a kaiju writer panel a lot. Well, not a lot. I've done it 2 years in a row, and I went to half of this past year's how to create your own original kaiju panel, and then left because I felt incredibly uncomfortable. And in both of them, like, I thought that there were good things being said there, but like, for the writing panel, it felt way too general about storytelling. Like, it wasn't very kaiju specific, which, like, it makes sense in a business sense because not a lot of people publish just kaiju fiction. But part of me was like, yeah, but like, I want a panel that's specifically talking about the nitty-gritty of kaiju stories. And a lot of these are just published, I think part of it is because that panel was mostly composed of published authors who have written a kaiju story and are fans of kaiju stories, but also, as published authors and somewhat successful ones, they've published other stuff because, I mean, you're gonna have to. Kaiju genre is not thriving well enough to just make a living off selling off of kaiju books alone. Even if they are your bestsellers, like the Daikaiju Yuki series' author has done best of his kaiju work. And same thing in the Shadow of Extinction author, but they're both doing well with other genres as well, as far as I can tell.
Oh, I didn't know the Shadow of Extinction author wrote anything else.
Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of like political thrillers and like apocalyptic stories that are non-kaiju related. He oddly enough, he has a series about devils. Which is a weird correlation between his career and mine. So I've been sitting through the two kaiju writers talk about the writing process thing panels, and in both years they gave a lot of good general writing advice, but I'm sitting there thinking like, yeah, but I want to get real fucking nerdy with it and talk about the specifics of a kaiju story. Which I guess if you've only written one or two, and not really thought about other people's that much, like maybe they can't, but I'm just sitting there like, I could run a panel and talk about fucking archetypes and story plots, lines. Let me finish this thing and I'm going to do a roll call and see if we can continue. Like, I could do that shit. I could talk about the specific structural requirements of a kaiju story and the things to think about if you want to enter into that genre. I could do that shit, and that would be a real fun panel to run. Okay, roll call to make sure that we don't start and then find out like halfway through that one person was missing and they feel bad. Casey?
Yo.
Greg?
Hey.
Kali?
Yep.
Sarah?
Yep.
Kay?
Me.
Shady? Shady?
He said BRB.
Damn it!
Anyways, JK, you know what we could do?
Murder a
Is
man.
it already somewhat semi-successful?
Yeah,
We could do a podcast.
we could.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
And like, if you do the panel at next year's G-Fest, my book should be out by that point in time. So I'm hoping to have it out by this G-Fest.
Do a kaiju writers podcast.
And back.
That would be rad as fuck. Okay! And Nora, do we have you?
Yes.
Alright! So, Hal and Isaac, you get the backhoe?
Yep.
Backhoe?
Yep.
Me and
Get the backhoe to the park, and when you're at the park, Hal and Kowaddle, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Kowaddle. You get to the park, and you see that, like, a giant earthworm, like an earthworm that's like roughly the thickness of a beach ball, is helping your friends dig holes.
Alright.
Es un serpentine gigante.
Got some help from a local.
Alright, when you guys finish, let me know and I'll plug up all these holes.
Alright. Alrighty, thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Nice guy.
That
Am I the
happened.
only one who has a Shimoyo's I'm a Death One song playing in their head now?
I'm a deathwood.
No.
We can use the equipment as a battering ram to push it into a hole.
Fuck yeah, Carnosaur style.
Yes. I love the way you think, Alcoatl.
I mean, I just didn't think it would be nice to drive it all the way back and disturb the pillbug car.
What?
Never mind.
Okay.
Did you find Christine?
You know, I really would not be surprised if Alcoatl has fought in time-displaced dinosaurs using construction equipment.
Well, he's fought pterosaur vampire.
Yeah.
They
exactly.
were just vampires. They weren't dinosaurs. I fought dinosaurs. I fought other things too. I fought a lot of monsters. What do you think? You think I just sat in a television show on loop throughout? No, I've been busy.
Well, Kawato is responsible for the Blob remake never getting off the ground.
And you're welcome.
I would have loved to see that, though.
And
No.
then you don't want it. They took away the Blob's absorbing ability and just had it start mind controlling people instead.
What's dumb?
It just kind of takes away the source of the horror.
Yeah. At least we got the stuff.
This was
Yeah.
more like the director wanted to go and make an Invasion of the Body Snatcher sequel, but had to settle for the Blob. Not
Yeah.
different thing.
I'd like everyone to do a Rita Bat situation check.
Tycho is like first with the rifle, even tabs on everything.
10.
Oh, I got 6.
10.
9.
11.
On the plus side, this is one where failing doesn't penalize you in any way. It just
Okay.
means you don't get any points.
Good. 'cause
10
I
or
got a s-
above, you
got a
get a hold of
7.
3. 7 and 9, you get a hold of 1. And you can spend your hold on asking one of the following questions. What's your best way into a certain place, which you're out in the park, so anywhere. What's your best way out? You're out in the park, so anywhere. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims?
What's the thing we haven't noticed yet? Tycho is on Overwatch.
Yeah, yeah, the Gourmand is is hovering over the trees, looking at you all with your holes in the park.
Best way to protect the victims.
There is, to be more specific, there is a bulbous mass of human flesh. Well, human flesh. There's a bulbous mass of flesh covered in human skin, with a head in the center of that mass, or rather a face, like a disembodied human face, with, like, you know, cheekbones and eye sockets and a nose and a jawline and a mouth. It's just that in that mouth between the two human lips is a giant human eyeball, and in those eye sockets between the two eyelids are human jaws full of human teeth. And the mass of the creature, I would say, is roughly the size of like a pickup truck.
Huh.
And it's standing on long, multi-jointed legs that look sort of like if a human arm had way too many pieces in the arm part. And those legs are about the thickness of a good-sized tree.
It's
With
not
hands
dressed-
capable of grabbing a human torso. And it's standing above the tree line.
It's not dressed as a cowboy stripper.
Thankfully, no, it is not in its cowboy stripper outfit.
Oh, thank
Okay,
God.
good.
And it's just watching you all with that eye, and the eye, again, is in where its human mouth would be. You know, between two human lips that it's using as eyelids, and those lips curl up into a smile.
Oh.
So rolling my trap roll is pointless at this point.
Roll some trap rolls. Tell me what that means.
Oh, I failed anyway, so my trap doesn't work.
Well, I mean, there's kind of an explanation for that. You guys
Yeah.
did fail to finish it because you got sidetracked by a conversation. One eye socket blinks as the jaws inside speak. So, a fair fight then?
Alcohol like sticks a hand into his pocket, pulls out the sledgehammer, and goes, "A fair fight it is then."
Oh God!
Let's fucking rock. Drake pulls out his one second. Pulls out his
Well, let's all look at
hunting
our
rifle.
Let's all look at our kick some ass shit because that's what we're in the middle of right now. I would say keeping help out and act under pressure would also be smart because there's gonna be some of that.
Oh no!
Alrighty, let's do this. I'm gonna roll these dice. See what we get.
All right. The monster begins rushing out of the trees on its long stilt legs. Once it gets past the tree line, its body lowers to the ground and its legs spread out. Its body is hovering about 10 feet off the ground, so within range of flamethrowers. Downside, there are 6 limbs now spidering towards you. Kaiko has a
He's going to take a shot with the rifle.
Okay, so roll kick some ass.
Alright, which is a tough move.
Normally, yes.
Taiko has a -1.
You succeed when you get a 7 or more.
Ooh, that's a good one, Shady.
Thank
Alright,
you.
I rolled an 11 -1, so that's a 10 on the kick some ass.
So on a 10 or above, you get to choose 1 extra effect. You gain
And
advantage.
it's 3 harm.
Yeah, you do 3 harm with that rifle. You can choose one of these extra effects. You gain the advantage, which means you take 1 forward or give 1 forward to another hunter, which means they get to use that 1 to another roll. Effect number 2 that you can choose, you inflict terrible harm, so you deal additional harm. Effect number 3, you suffer less harm. Don't choose that because you're far away enough the rifle that it can't hit you back.
Mm-hmm.
Effect number 4, you force them where you want them.
I force it into the hole where it can be flamethrowered by shooting it in one of the legs.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You shoot the creature in one of its legs. The leg gives out and the leg bends in a couple of spaces that it probably wasn't supposed to, almost as if this thing was a little bit beat up before it formed. And the creature falls into the hole. Briefly, its other limbs are immediately scrambling to try and pull it out, but that gives everyone else a chance for a kick some ass roll.
Alright.
Isaac's running up with his special flamethrower.
Yeah, Isaac had one.
I had one.
Isaac, Kaiko, and Hal had one.
I
Drake
gave
also
mine up with the
rolled.
rifle.
But Kaiko has the rifle instead.
Kick some ass. Alright.
So I'm guessing I have the last flamethrower.
Okay, I rolled an 11.
So once again, with kick some ass, on a 10 or above, you can choose one of the 4 effects. You or someone else gains the advantage. You inflict terrible harm. You suffer less harm, and since you are within range of the creature, it will be able to hit you. Or you force it where you want it.
Okay, I'm gonna pick suffer less harm. Can I give that to somebody else though?
No, sadly not.
Alright, then I'll take suffer less harm.
Okay. So you get to reduce this harm by 1. The creature swipes out with one of its limbs while you set it ablaze with the flamethrower, and deals 1 harm to you.
Okay, so it did nothing?
Yes.
Question.
Yeah?
Use my roll next.
Yep.
Okay, I got a 10, so I'm going to do the terrible harm.
Rad as hell. You do get swiped by one of the monster's legs.
With a hunting rifle?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, you're using the rifle, but you were on flamethrower duty.
Nope.
Oh, then shit, yeah, you don't get hit. Got it right.
Nice.
That should be
And-
3 harm, I think.
Yeah, it should be 3 harm.
Nice. You shoot that bastard, and the bullet goes into its flesh.
Nice. I was aiming for the eye, but this will do.
How much harm are these flamethrowers doing?
Yeah, I never got any stats on them.
I'm going to say each flamethrower does 3 harm.
Okay.
What about the special one that Isaac has?
4. We'll give it 4.
Isaac got a 10 as well. And he's got, geez.
11.
Okay. We'll resolve Isaac next, and then Casey. Using the Discord chat as a turn order is actually pretty good. Okay, Isaac?
I want to force them where I want them. I want to keep them in the pit.
Okay. So you unleash with the flamethrower, and you jet down one of the, like, you slash all the arms on one side. And they go up like fucking Roman candles. Which means that now one side of its body is too weakened by the flames to lift it, so it is now trapped in the pit. At least for the time being. But in the process, one of them does manage to sort of smack you, dealing 1 harm damage.
Which I don't take any damage.
Because you got armor. Alright. Casey?
What were my options again? I got an 11.
Oakley dokily. You can gain the advantage, which means you give +1 to either yourself under the next roll that you make or to someone else to use. You can inflict terrible harm, so you do 1 additional harm. Or you suffer less harm from whatever its attack is, or you force it where you want it to be.
I'm going to inflict terrible harm with the
All right.
sword. Going to just do that thing where you clutch the sheath at your side, and then you unsheath it and swipe in the same motion.
Alright. As the creature is, partially aflame and trapped in the pit, you jump at it with the sword, and you fucking slash it. And when you do, you remember what happened to Aku whenever Samurai Jack slashed him with the holy sword?
Yeah, kind of. It just glowed red and disintegrated.
Yeah, that starts happening to the Gourmand's body.
Like burning paper.
Yeah, like burning paper. It just begins to incinerate super fucking fast.
Holy shit.
And as the creature's body begins to vaporize before your eyes, its eye looks at you, Celia, and its 2 mouths open, and it says in unison, "We shall become," before it is silenced.
E2 es muerto.
And then El Coatl jumps out and is about to do an excellent fucking flying bench press or whatever, and the Gourmand disintegrates before he hits it, and he lands on the bench.
I am okay.
Wow.
That was
Brutal.
Yeah, holy shit.
That was better than expected.
That went much too.
It was better to throw you
Are
out.
already dead.
Didn't get to do much.
Did
Well.
that go down quicker than the Bigfoot?
Yes,
Yes.
considerably.
What a chump.
To be fair, you guys got access to a lot of flamethrowers.
Yeah, we caught it in a hole, or it couldn't
Real
really
quick.
get out.
This is the real question.
And also,
is,
you all rolled the fucking over 10!
except for alcohol.
that could have lasted a few more rounds. But you guys rolled really well.
And half of us chose to do terrible harm.
This is not the equivalent of the Barney fight.
It really is. This was very much the Varney fight. You took your time, you prepared, you figured out how to get this guy unawares and fuck him over, and then you got him.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it was Kaiko crippling him, sending him into a hole, and then we cut off half his legs, and it's like, well, there you go.
Murdered him. Also, what was he saying at the very end of there, Celia?
I will become.
I will become, and then he died.
God damn it.
Oh, he's going to come back.
God damn it, D2.
Well, congrats! You killed the Gourmand, and as you stand over the pit where the Gourmand once was, you feel like that air pressure change, and you get a headache. Kaiko
is gonna like, oh, this is gonna happen, so she's gonna. Kaiko ran forward to see what was happening, leaving the rifle behind, so she's not gonna be associated with that.
And Drake,
No, it's happening everywhere.
yeah.
Oh.
You feel you feel an atmospheric change, like you're shifting, up really high.
So he's gonna grab
There's-
Drake's
there's-
arm.
There's a head-splitting pain. You have trouble seeing. When you open your eyes, the sky is blue. There are no pits in the much smaller than it was just now park.
Mm-hmm.
There are the sounds of people and traffic, and the world is back to normal.
Drake hides his hunting rifle.
Well, I get a free flamethrower.
No, you don't.
Kaiko, yeah, Kaiko.
I'm taking all of those back. Thank you.
Hal
Kaiko
hands
left
it
the
to
rifle
him.
by Isaac's car.
So, can I keep the sword?
Yeah, do we still have it?
Yeah, you have a rad-ass looking fucking sword. In non-Bewitched Melody, it doesn't have the color moving effect, but it still looks like it's been painted to look like the blade is made of fire and the handle made of smoke.
Jeez. Yeah, you should hold on to that thing.
Mm-hmm.
You okay, Drake?
That was anticlimactic.
I like
We won!
I like that when the Gourmands tried to smack me, it was more like it just kind of reached out and gently caressed my face.
It just fucking whipped like it was like fractions of an inch away from making contact.
Eh.
I don't think the Gourmand was expecting this.
Yeah, no, he wasn't.
Wasn't expecting that much fight back.
Are you expecting this to go this
Well,
well?
and to be fair, you killed 3 of its meatball parts.
So if we hadn't, would it have been stronger?
If all of them had been alive and allowed to grow, then yes, it would have been stronger. And if it had been able to infect more people, it would have been stronger. The downside is that if you had killed every one, it wouldn't have been able to manifest, and as a result, you would have to wait until it infects more people to get a chance to stop it.
Oh,
I'm glad we didn't have to do that.
that could have gone any number of ways.
Yes. Like I said, part of the reason that fight went that way is because you guys did some good preparation.
Woo.
Yeah.
Now I owe the Mothman a favor. Shit.
Yeah! That'll be fun to follow up on.
Well, technically, Kaiko's last session was one that said her and no one else.
Yeah, but this one, Kaiko and everyone else was just kind of
I was about to, but then you.
Anyway,
Okay, real question, is El Codal there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But, El Coatl, as you stand in victory for your friends, you hear from across the street some saying, El Coatl! El Coatl, help!
He turns, as a good hero does,
And you
like
see...
low-key knowing what's about to go down.
And you see, in a house across the street from the park, someone is watching the television, and on the television is a small Mexican boy, and he's pounding on the screen and looking at you as best he can from the TV screen. He's like, El Coatl, please, you have to come back. The vampires! Oh God!
He sighs, and he turns to his friends that he's made in the last
Hour, a couple
6
hours.
hours? 6 hours? We're going 6 hours. He bows greatly. He's like, my apologies, but my time here is limited. Until next time.
Will we ever see you again?
El Coatl fades from vision. And on
He does a weird little hand thing, and like starts running towards the television where the small child is, and then just jumps back into the TV.
You disappear from reality as you're crossing the street, and then you reappear inside the television, running to the boy and fucking like punching a pterosaur.
He runs across the street, a car passes, he's gone, and he's in the TV.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh. Godspeed, Coatl.
You doing alright there, Hal?
And on the TV screen, El Coatl says, remember, if you ever need my help, just call!
Call.
And the person walks up to the TV, I'm leaving this on, and turns it off.
Aww.
It's a shitty show, the person says when they turn off the television.
What does this person look like?
I'd say like a 45-year-old man in a sweater vest.
I'm gonna go beat him up.
No, come
So
on.
he starts walking
And
that
so
way.
the gang beat up a middle-aged man for very specious reasons, and never faced any consequences for it.
Shit.
Ecto cooler?
No.
Oh,
That's
Gesture?
Man, I'm curious to
made out
hear
of
about
ghosts.
the fallout of the break-in at the Melody radio station.
Hey, we didn't break in though. We had keys.
Yeah.
Hey. Well, you'll see how that goes. Don't worry about it.
I mean, as far as time has gone, it's like maybe an hour or two after that happened, so probably hasn't even been reported to the police yet.
If it will be.
I mean, you locked up afterwards. You didn't leave any
you had
evidence.
keys. You didn't break in. You just, you went to your own studio. And, the town knew that you were around. The cops saw you and recognized you. You had keys.
Yes, and it wasn't security alarmed. There may never be a reporting of it, and just a random...
The guy, the poor fucking intern who's watching a security camera is like, what the fuck?
The only evidence that El Coatl was ever really there is a vampire pterodactyl head on the set of the popular late night movie science fiction horror show. And a note from El Coatl.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it to you guys. What do you want to do? You saved the day.
We should celebrate.
Celia looks at Kaiko. Now that that's over, you doing okay?
Isaac's gathering the flamethrowers and the rifle.
Aww.
Oddly enough, no one is looking too perturbed by that. One couple stops and the girl's like, "What? Why do they have guns?" And the other girl says, "Well, I'm sure they have open carry permits. Let's not ask questions." America.
Isaac calls after them. Don't worry, they're not real. We're just LARPing.
Ugh, LARPing.
Yeah, why
That
does
should
that
be
get
illegal.
I want to beat her up too.
And
So you beat up two lesbians.
No!
are we going to beat up anyone else today?
Yeah, it's 50-50.
Celia.
Let's just get back and decompress.
Let's go to Hal's house. with the cats. I think we could all use some cats. And
Okay.
I need to give the general some treats.
Okay, I'll meet you guys there.
I could go for
Drake
waffles.
vanishes.
God damn it, Drake!
Oh, I'm curious. Did the backhoe, is that still there?
Is Backhoe still sitting here?
Because if so, did people in regular Melody see it driving by itself across town to the park? Or did it just pop into existence with us?
The
And is this a ghost
backhoe is
tractor?
here. And everyone looks and, like people look at it and you see a couple people doing double takes like, the fuck? How'd that get here?
Hal goes, yeah, I know, it's weird, right?
But then they shrug and assume they must have just not noticed.
As
That's
you
naughty
do.
for ya. Oh, I didn't get to tell El Quaddle about Big Mel. He still will have no idea next time he's here.
Seriously, that thing's alive.
It
I knew
took my legs.
It took my brother.
It took my legs. It took my legs.
And
I got
used
that.
them. And then it used them as toothpicks.
Oof.
Celia winces noticeably at that.
Ooh.
Drake's not here. Remember, he vanished the house.
Yeah, but he also just likes to pop up again.
But he's not here right now. It's fine. This is out of game.
The one house that Drake can't pop into is Kaiko's.
Yeah, because it's filthy on the outside.
I don't know if I like the idea that Drake can just pop near our house, Hal.
He did it before. He just thought he was alive.
Yeah,
Is it one of his fast travel locations on his map?
Indeed.
So I guess we're headed to...
Does explain why the
House?
cats keep trying to pee on him, though.
So we're going to House?
I guess.
You go to Hal's house.
Oh, no.
Da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile,
And
at
that-
Hal's house, you all arrive.
And then outside you just see the shipment of Duplo waffles.
Ooplo waffles.
Oop. I thought it was Duplo. Huh.
Well, it's
Duplo my
Ooplo. It's Ooplo because Ego is Lego without the first consonant.
Ah,
So Ooplo waffles are Duplo without the first consonant.
okay.
Do you like waffles, Hal?
I guess I do now.
Do you
Is
like
Mothman-
waffles? Do you
I
like
like waffles.
Do you like
Do
pancakes? Do you
Yes, I
like
like
pancakes?
pancakes.
Do you like hash browns? Do you like
Assist!
hash browns?
I knew exactly where that was going to go. But is Mothman in the trees waiting for us?
Mothman is not waiting for you outside Hal's house.
Kaiko just has been fidgeting with her face the entire time. And in the mirror, it looks normal in the real world, right?
Yeah, it looks perfectly normal, just like you have scars on your face from being burned.
Ah.
Jesus fuck.
Which is normal for Kaiko at this point in her life.
Come on, Kaiko. Let's set you down with some cats.
And some waffles.
No.
Yeah, waffles.
Did
In
Drake,
case you're in cats and waffles.
did Drake like put half a year's worth of Ooplo waffles in, make them while we were coming
Everyone's
back?
got 2 boxes of Ooplo waffles, enough to last you at least a week if you eat them at a normal rate.
Joy?
Bold of you to assume that I eat anything, right?
Why do you think I gave you a 6-month supply, Celia? I got your back, fam.
Yeah, it's a 6-month supply by Ooplo standards, which is to say that there are now, like, enough pallets of Ooplo waffles in Celia's mostly emptied mansion to fill up a room.
Good thing they have like a shelf life of 5 years.
Mhm.
You have spared yourself my wrath today.
I mean, they have a
Huzzah.
shelf life of 5 years if you keep them refrigerated.
Pretty sure they have a shelf life of that anyway, because I'm pretty sure they're mostly made out of cardboard and sawdust.
And preservative.
Gotta love those prions. Well, you all kick back and relax at Hal's house. Nothing could go wrong.
And then...
Nothing goes wrong.
Cool.
Huh. You sure?
Wouldn't Isaac have to report back to?
I mean, eventually, yeah. I don't know. I'm letting you guys take the wheel at this point.
Celia turns on the TV to the host segments are doing. That's the framing device I'm proposing.
Do you want to end? Do you want to end the session? Because that's the end of the session.
I mean,
We still
Not
got
yet.
time.
Yeah.
It's pretty early.
I mean, I'm cool with ending the session if you guys got nothing else you want your characters to do to end out the arc. You killed the monster. That's good enough for me. But generally, you guys feel like you have some stuff you want to wrap up, so I'm giving you the time to wrap up. If you got nothing to wrap up, we can just end it right here.
Oh,
Yeah, Taiko is currently just still relatively.
So in our Scrubs montage to wrap things up at the end of the episode, we have a shot of Kaiko looking in the mirror and touching the scars on her face and thinking about stuff.
I mean, Isaac probably has to go in and report.
oh yeah, he's gotta go report.
And
yeah, Isaac, do you have that doctor's phone number?
Not really.
Damn it.
Aww.
Kaiko looks. That's perfect.
I mean, she works at the hospital.
In her
I think
head.
She hangs out at. Isaac's like, I think she hangs out at the comic book shop. She told me not to like know that.
Isaac definitely doesn't have her personal number because she didn't even keep Isaac's name in her phone.
Damn.
Ow.
Yeah, if you remember from last session, when Isaac called her, he's like, yeah, who's this?
Oh yeah, I see.
But
it.
Isaac's totally like throwing her under the bus, going, "Oh yeah, I know she hangs out at the comic book shop."
Oh, so that's where I've seen her before.
Drake
Comic
looks at
book shop.
Zoe.
Gotcha.
Wait, aren't you still a kid? Isn't she
I'm
a little...
17?
So a kid.
No.
Listen.
I don't know how old she is.
I mean, she's in Kaiko's age range.
And then Celia squeals and scoops Zoe
No,
up.
Dr. Mallory Masters is probably like 31.
Oh.
Yeah.
Celia squeals and
She's
scoops
right around
Zoe
the
up
same
and
age
just
Isaac.
shouts, "Aw, you're a baby."
She's a pathologist, and more than that, she's a xenopathologist. That's going to take some time to study.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's still a precocious crush. Those are allowed.
Yeah.
yeah, one was allowed this entire arc, and everybody kept poking at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's funny.
Yeah, plus you're legal. You're fine.
I wasn't when I was crushing on him.
Yeah,
And
but-
you're luckily not related to him, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, have fun with that knowledge, Hal. Drake says while flipping through one of your random newspapers.
Now it's legal, and there won't be incest babies.
Mhm.
I would
Or ass
do not
baby.
think that would be weird ass babies to be worried about.
Don't bring up ass babies.
So any more business to wrap up?
Should I bring up the thing I messaged you, TT, or do you want to bring it up?
Yeah, Hal, you reach into your pocket and you find a note has been left there.
What the fuck is this?
It says,
Pocket paper. Drake leans over his shoulder.
every hour a new hat is born. I'm kidding. I don't know what it says. What does it say, Gray?
Sorry, of course, as soon as I talk, I start dying. It's a small envelope that just has Hal written on it.
Hmm.
Is Drake leaning over Hal's shoulder?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Yes.
Hal reaches over his shoulder with one of his hands and just covers Drake's face with it.
Drake moves Hal's hand. And
Um,
needs to see.
Yeah. As he's doing that, General, attack! And she, orders the general to tackle Drake.
All right, General, let's make a kick some ass roll. Drake, you got to make an action or pressure roll.
Hold on, let me. Hold on,
No, I'm kidding. The cat crits and just knocks you over.
I fall and break a table.
Shit. I can fix that.
Cats have elemental advantage against ghosts.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
This isn't the first time the General's killed a ghost.
Well, guess I'm dead. Goodbye.
And the rest of the cats, I imagine, just pile on top of Drake.
I mean,
Yeah, they all start nuzzling Drake. They're not going to kill him
Yeah.
today.
since,
They just all get on top of him like cats do and just flop.
I mean, since in canon, the general is based off of that cat from the Stephen King short stories that murders the shit out of that little gremlin thing.
Yes.
Probably isn't the first time he's killed a ghost.
Yeah, when I say this isn't the first time the General's killed
Yeah.
a ghost, I am being 100% literal.
Specifically to protect Hal. Okay, you're safe to read your note now. Hal.
Right. Hal reads the note.
it is a note from Melkotal, and it's almost a lengthy letter. Like it's not a small note, and it's like, "Dear Hal, one of my closest friends," which is either a very low bar or it's cute. Either way, I fear my time may be running up short. My curse does not usually allow me to be away for long periods of time. The truth is, my history with Melody is much more complicated. To put it in short, at one point in the 1500s, I was a conquistador, and don't play with masks you don't know about. I have to stop writing now because you are looking at me funny.
There's a second note in your pocket, Hal. You bring this one out and it says, "Dear Marty, if my calculations are correct, you will receive this letter immediately after you solve a DeLorean struck by lightning. First, let me assure you that I am alive and well. I've been living happily these past 8 months. In the year night, wait a minute. This isn't for Marty. Oh, shit. Ignore this!
It ends with ignore this.
The metaphysics implicit here are mind-boggling.
Yeah, tell me about it. Rick says as his head just rolls around.
Wait, his head rolls around, like, off his body?
Will you allow it, TT?
Yeah, sure. I don't give a fuck. You're a ghost
Cool.
now. We can reveal that in canon, so we can be more explicit about it.
So he screams. And
What?
tells the general to attack again.
All the cats begin batting Drake's head, and eventually they get under the oven somehow. And it's gonna be hard to get out from there.
Do you know how many fucking cat toys are under there? Now I have to go dig around for a head.
I mean, now Drake intimately does.
Yeah, there are at least 7.
So there's a lot more than that.
Oh, also there's this old sausage under here. You may want to get that.
Okay.
It's starting to move.
And Hal reaches under there with a broom handle and tries to scoop everything out. Poking Drake in the head.
Ow. 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 Hey, that one was on purpose. Ow.
Of course it was.
They were all on purpose.
Yeah, which one wasn't on purpose, Drake?
Also, don't worry about that sausage.
Oh god!
It went to a good home.
Ugh.
Ugh.
He's a ghost, it's fine.
Oh no, he just went to the radio station.
So a desiccated sausage just manifests.
Mm-hmm.
Lord.
Drake, what the fuck?
Nobody should have given you these powers.
So Drake's a poltergeist.
What kind of higher power thought this was a good idea?
Mothman.
The Mothman made you?
No. That's
No.
not canon.
Yeah, I just came about when he came about.
Ah, gotcha. This is really weird, Drake.
You're
Come
really
on.
weird.
I mean, I talk to cats, and they talk back, and we understand each other.
Drake's body pats you on the shoulder. It's
Oh
fine.
god, fuck!
I am surprised by how little it bothers me, honestly.
Isaac's been observing Drake, just like kind of like, this is fascinating.
Zoe once again orders the cats to attack Drake's body as he comes up behind her, and she doesn't see it and starts patting her on the shoulder.
But yeah, secret's out. El Cordal's a cursed conquistador
Yeah,
from the
he's
Kid
the cookie.
200.
Yeah. Well, the secret is out to Hal. Does Hal tell every question?
He has the note around.
Uh-huh. I see.
Why is your voice muffled, Drake?
You try holding a fucking envelope
I was-
before arms.
He's holding the note in his mouth and reading it.
I was going to go in more detail, but it's like I enjoyed the idea of, oh wait, no, you're looking at me, I should stop writing this.
And
Welcome back.
We've been, we've had Drake get attacked by cats like 3 times.
okay, so session hasn't ended yet.
No,
I don't
Okay,
believe
oh,
so.
awesome.
I will do the outro when it's not in the session. I'm letting you guys do any character part bits.
All right.
yeah.
I rolled to kick some ass.
Zoe's going to walk up to Kaiko and hand her a cat.
Kaiko is just off in her own like space right now. Just
She's going to poke her and give her a cat.
And when you drape a cat around Kaiko's shoulders, now there's just a cat on Kaiko's shoulders.
She, Minnie here is not as talkative as the general is, but she's good company.
Careful though, she'll trap you in the bathroom.
Yeah, she did that to me this morning. That's not even a joke. That actually happened this morning.
Wait, what?
yeah, Kaiko's still out of it.
Yeah.
My cat trapped her in the bathroom this morning.
How?
She got all cuddly, and then when I was sitting down to pet her some more, she jumped on my lap and laid on my lap.
Aww.
Yeah. Well, you are all lost in your thought, but you have a cat now, and cats are, very good at relieving
Like the
stress.
traumatic episode is like now fully catching up with her again right now.
Celia brings her a glass of juice.
Oh.
It's not Mika juice.
El Cordal rolled a 9 to kick the vampire dactyl's ass.
Oh yeah! Oh wait, yeah! Zoe flips on the television to the.
You succeed in kicking its ass.
Zoe flips to the El Quaddle channel. Well, the public access channel to see if the El Quaddle.
Yeah, no, it's over. It's out of its time slot.
Aww.
You are currently watching a show where an Asian woman is talking about painting murals. She's making a nice little painting of a forest scene with a babbling brook.
I see. I see.
Boring. Turns it off. So, is anyone gonna bring up the dimensional thing?
Which,
What about it?
yeah.
Kaiko's scars?
Nope. Hal knows Kaiko's backstory, so he picks her up and takes her out of the room. Nope. Nope.
I guess we aren't.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fair.
Here, Zoe, have some waffles.
Probably not
Are you
ready
still
for
just
that.
ahead?
His body is handing it to you.
Mm.
Hal
I'm pretty sure
literally.
if Dr. Wynn knows Kaiko, he knows her situation too, so Isaac might know.
Well, Dr. Wen would have that as one of Melody's phenomena, that situation. Isaac wouldn't know because Isaac is an agent to investigate current cases. He has not been given a whole lot of backstory about the town. Because that's not relevant to Isaac's job. Isaac is
I
told
was-
what is needed to pursue certain creatures. Isaac could look into that, though. He could ask for that. He could request that information if he could justify it as being for his work.
Spoilers. That's exactly what he was going to start questioning when everyone was ready to move on to Isaac's.
Yeah. But, like, that's not his job. And, like, a lot of people have been involved in weird missing persons cases in Melody. So I don't think, like, Dr. Wen thinks of Kaiko's name first when he thinks of people. If someone brought up Kaiko, he might be like, I think I remember a case file about that, and then look it up. But, like, Dr. Wen is focused on a very, on something more specific than the missing people in Melody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Isaac,
Mhm.
you've been doing this kind of thing for how?
What kind of thing?
Hunting monsters?
Not
Mephiles
always
seemed
hunting.
pretty, focused on you pretty hard when she mentioned that.
Okay, see, I don't like the term monster hunting because that implies just killing them. A lot of the time it's relocation, just study. Which, for the people who can tell lies, he's not lying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Alright, fair enough. Also, oh, Hal.
Oh.
You gotta remember that Kaiko was like his only friend until like a few weeks ago.
So everyone who's not reading the chat knows Hal brings Kaiko to a smaller room with a DVD player, plops her on the couch, turns on a Godzilla movie, and sits next to her to let her decompress on her own.
Oh, that's so cute. So, Drake,
Hmm.
you're a ghost.
Yes.
You can pop anywhere you want.
Fairly sure.
Why are you living in the fucking graveyard?
Why not?
Spraying teenagers with hoses.
Oh,
Spraying me with a hose.
that was actual Drake's job.
Oh.
Yeah.
Drake,
Hmm.
can you pop down into the Marianas Trench if there's any undiscovered megafauna living underneath?
Celia, that's crazy, Doug. I can't leave this place.
That's true. Drake is tied to Melody.
Aww.
Oh.
Plus, would a ghost be able to see down there without light?
Yeah.
Ghosts don't sense things the way we do.
Hmm.
Would you, I'm sorry, Drake.
It happens. I'm not the one who died.
I mean, I guess it's better than being trapped in a boring town.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Or Detroit.
He looks at him kind of confused. What do you have against Detroit?
I don't know. At least we're not Detroit.
We're not Detroit!
Yeah.
Well, they have
gets it.
killer robots as in the police force.
And the bad barrel gargoyle problem.
You
Yeah.
know, gargoyle problem? What are you guys on about?
Oh, you didn't hear anything from me.
Yeah. Don't worry about young one. Drake's body pats her again.
Please, if you do that again, I'm going to stick the cats on you again.
Okay, fine.
Have your head on when you do it.
And Drake, stay out of
Mhm.
my place, otherwise I'm literally going to get a ghost trap.
Oh, don't worry. I left my waffles outside your door.
Also, Real Steel was filmed there, so it's concerned that's real to never venture anywhere near it.
That's fair.
Nice.
Also, Drake,
Hmm?
why were you harassing my neighbor? She texted me wondering why there was someone, like, wandering around.
Just
I like
kidding.
that I like that the map, and apparently Isaac shares an apartment complex with Marcola.
Yeah, who knew?
Isaac shares the apartment with who?
Isaac
Yeah,
is in
he
the
lives
same
at the same apartment
complex. Not the same floor, but in the same apartment complex as Miranda Esper.
Oh.
Oh.
I was trying to get sugar, and she seemed to be free. I had to get sugar. All right.
That's so creepy. That is such a creepy thing to say about a woman.
Hey, Drake.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get the ghost trap just because now.
Hey, Drake.
Yeah.
Since you're made of ectoplasm, could I, like, mold you into stuff?
No.
You sure?
See- Yeah, it's either this or some sort of weird spectral blob.
Don't tell Dr.
Can we
Master
see that?
you're a ghost.
No. You didn't even buy me dinner. I'm not revealing myself
Okay.
to you.
That's fair.
That's fair.
So, I'm gonna go take a shower and go to sleep.
Yeah, we should probably just go on our ways.
And I get these flamethrowers back.
Alright.
Zoe's looking at the flamethrower.
I'm keeping the sword.
I mean, yeah, you killed it, so I think you deserve the sword.
That's 2 monsters in a row you stabbed to death.
Shit, yeah, it is.
Who'd have thought?
Alright.
Alright, everyone goes their separate ways eventually after calming down and settling for the day. Isaac, eventually you check back in at Spindle Inc. And when you get to Dr. Wen's office, he is typing on the computer. Oh, good. I was just finishing up a very scathing evaluation for Dr. Master's work on this assignment. Anything you'd like to add?
Aww.
Well, her decorum needs some improvement. She was very excellent and professional in her work, and very helpful, actually.
Really? Because we didn't
work.
get a single living specimen of this entity.
Well, that's the thing. It didn't really like to stay dead. It kind of forced our hand to exterminate.
He
But-
stares at you for a second.
I think I have
When
to
we
make a
when we
roll.
brought you on to this facility, one of the reasons I chose you from the personnel offered to us was that you had an amazing success rate at bringing in creatures alive. There was that situation in Boggy Creek, was it, where you actually managed to take down one of the Fook monsters and bring it in successfully into captivity with no casualties. And this creature made it so that it could not be taken alive?
It threatened the life of Dr. Masters and other members of my team. Which I think I have to make a roll for this. It's specifically a professional thing called Deal with the Agency.
Oh, hell yeah, do it!
Okay, I have to roll plus sharp. I'm making an excuse for a failure. 16. 1, so that's 9.
I think that, well, I don't know what exactly the outcome
Oh.
of that specific roll is.
On a 7 to 9, things aren't so great. You might get chewed up by your superiors, and there'll be fallout, but you get what you need for the job.
Alright. Wynn considers it and says, of course, we at Spindle Inc. value human life, and protecting human life, including those of fellow employees, is a priority. That said, this was an incredibly unique organism, not some interbred Earth anomaly like the Sasquatches or what have you, a thing from another plane. This was a tremendous opportunity, Isaac, and we lost it. All we have are its residue. The next time this happens, bringing the creature in alive is the top priority. And if other priorities have to fall by the wayside, I expect you to make the right call. Do you understand me?
I do.
Good.
And if any consolation from what we've learned during this, and just the general vibe I'm getting from this town, we're gonna definitely have plenty of chances.
Wen smiles. Oh, think we're going to make quite sure of that. Good work today, Isaac. I apologize for saddling you with a less suitable partner. Trust me, she will be disciplined.
Honestly, besides the initial hiccup and some interpersonal...
Isaac. It's fine. You don't have to make excuses for Miss Masters. She made her grave, she can lie in it.
Aw.
Now, there was something I've been curious. I'd like to look into possible past cases, specifically an abduction case and a near encounter, specifically referring to flames, fire.
Which case?
Isaac would know Kaiko's last name because of her sister.
Yeah, by this point you would. It's Westfield, isn't it?
Yes.
The Westfield case.
Ah, yes.
Family disappeared. Only the daughters.
Yes.
Right.
And then he goes to the file cabinets and he pulls one out, flips through several files, grabs one. And says, "Yes. Well, it's actually probably a good case for you to look into because this phenomenon recurs every summer. That corresponded with the Melody Light Show, as the locals call it.
Oh.
Extraterrestrial in origin.
We're assuming. As always with visitors, it's very hard to get concrete evidence. They are much better at eluding us than your average cryptid, but
Frustrating.
the case would seem to correspond. Granted, a lot of strange phenomena happens when the light show is in town, as the locals say. So it could be unrelated, but given the nature of the burns on one of the children left behind by the incident, we're guessing it has something to do with extraterrestrials, yes. It would be a good case to read up on, because once the light show shows up, we are going to have you investigated.
All right. That's good to know. Again, I'm sorry for my slip up with the weapons. Although I'm not trying to make excuses, it was a potential extinction event if this thing had gotten out of control. Dr. Masters would explain it.
Dr. Wen doesn't roll his eyes, but you can see that he wanted to. And he says in a very patronizing tone, "I understand. We occasionally deal with high-level threats, and you made a call, and it wasn't entirely the wrong one. You're not going to face any disciplinary action, Isaac. You're going to be fine. Just think about the priority of our targets next time."
Of course.
All right. And if we have no other business, we cut back to Miranda Esper's apartment. It's like 9 p.m. She's illuminated mostly by the glow of her television as she's watching something on a streaming service. Outside, you hear someone say, "How many times do I have to throw you down these stairs?"
I need my paycheck. Come on, man. I need it. Please. I need answers.
I'm gonna pay you a beating!
Bring it on.
And there's the sound of a guy who has fallen down the stairs multiple times, getting the absolute shit kicked out of him, distant from the door. Miranda looks at the door
police
briefly.
sirens that are about to get closer.
What?
Is there police sirens about to get closer? Cause
No one's called the cops on this yet.
Yeah. That's it. I'm getting the bad. Ah!
How are your legs still working?
You're about to find out. Ah! Smack! Smack!
It's a wiffle bat.
I'll whiffle you.
Please. It's been a long day. Can you please just not do this in the hallway? I'm trying to get home.
Oh, sorry, Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you apologize, you fuck. Come on. Going outside.
So, yeah. And then the guy who was pushed downstairs tackles the other guy down the stairs.
The other guy isn't moving.
Jesus Christ.
How do you react, stare guy?
Stare guy.
I
just
hit him in
killed
the
a man.
crotch.
You just killed a man.
I killed many potential men just now.
That's when the sirens come. Freeze, police! Oh my god. That man's dead!
It wasn't me. I can't go back to jail.
It was him! He's been hurting Mr. O'Malley all day!
I'm not going back to jail. Bye.
Sound of the police opening fire is heard. Ow! My leg!
What the absolute shit, guys?
And then you just hear.
Quick, plant some cocaine on that old lady so that way we don't get in trouble. Right away, sir.
Oh!
Whoa!
Jesus fuck.
Ow! Ow!
Christ!
Alright, our work's done here. But the guy got away. Yeah, but the perp is being arrested. Oh!
Well,
And as the police carry out old Miss Weathersby to their car, Miranda looks from the window. What the fuck? Went at the camera and says, "Monster's dead." And then gives like sort of a half-hearted thumbs up.
and Miranda now has Uplo.
Yeah, she's actually eating that like as she's watching Netflix. Like there's a plate of Uplo waffles with syrup on her like coffee table. Monster's dead, so that's good. Our heroes found out facts about themselves and each other. They're growing closer together as they grow closer to understanding what is truly going on in Melody. But how deep does the rabbit hole go? And what mysteries lie in wait? In many ways, they've only scratched the surface. Tune in next week to hear more of this offbeat melody.
Also, you
And
may
then
want
she
to get more
then she
milk.
puts some. And she goes to her kitchen, grabs a box of salt, and begins pouring it around all of the entryways to her apartment. Fucking ghosts every fucking time. Fucking ghosts just think just come in here because I have a fucking show where I show scary movies on the public access channel. They think it's a fucking invitation to go look. Oh, she dresses like Elvira. I don't want you to know my fucking house.
Same time, whenever, Miranda. Whoop.
Same offbeat time.
You come back here again,
Same-
I'm exercising your ass!
No, you won't.
Same offbeat time.
Drake, get
same
out of
offbeat
here.
Channel.
I was informing her that she ran out of milk.
You know this asshole?
Unfortunately.
This fucking asshole! Tell this asshole ghost I am fucking serious! I have a handbook for the recently deceased right here! I can exorcise him!
I'm not recently deceased.
Gonna send
though.
his ass to fucking Saturn!
But then you lose a character for your show.
Good!
Rude.
Then she eats her waffles.
Just lost.
The end.
And scene.
The phone rings. Somebody broke into the radio station.
What do you want me to do about it? I'm eating waffles. And she puts the phone back down.
It was a luchador.
This one day I don't want to deal with people's shit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Alright! She tears open the handbook of the recently deceased.
Bring it on!
That's how
I
Drake
imagine as the
got
camera pans out to the
exercised.
apartment, all you see is green lights and like cartoon sound effects.
Jesus.
Christ.
Okay, the end.
Yep.
Okay.
And scene.